proposal to allow more and longer flights to and from Reagan National Airport in Washington continues to meet with serious opposition. Bob Agnew has more.
The latest senator to come out against the proposal is Democrat Joe Manchin of West Virginia. In a letter to leaders of the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation, Manchin writes the expansion would, quote, create real and serious concern over continued daily service from regional airports to our nation's capital. The proposed changes appear in the FAA Reauthorization Act, set for consideration this week in the House. Bob Agnew reporting.
Well, Canada is battling a number of wildfires. Greece now facing pretty much the same problem. Fires outside of Athens forcing thousands of people to flee seaside resorts, many of them on vacation. Officials also say a number of major highways been forced to shut down. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. In one Florida neighborhood, everywhere you look, rabbits.
Up to 100 lion-head rabbits have taken up residence in a neighborhood near Fort Lauderdale, Florida. John King, who lives in Wilton Manors, says every morning he covers up the holes in his backyard the rabbits made and chases them out of his yard.
I'd like them, but I just wish they would live somewhere else.
Local rabbit supporter Alicia Griggs says they're hopping all over the neighborhood.
One of the neighbors moved a couple of years ago and she just left her rabbits in the street when she moved. They were not spayed or neutered, so they started multiplying.
Griggs says the rabbits can suffer heat stroke when it gets too hot, and predators have been killing them. I'm Donna Warder.
Rescue teams searching for 10 people still missing in landslides and other incidents caused by a week of very heavy rains in South Korea. At least 41 people have died. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody. That's right. Welcome to it. Another hot one. I think it's supposed to be like 110 today, as it is every day. Forever, I think. I don't think we'll ever see fall again.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It just doesn't happen.
We live in a perma-summer state. I will say this. Over the weekend, Death Valley recorded its second hottest temperature in the history of recording temperatures.
Yeah.
128 degrees.
Dang.
Yeah, the highest was 130 back in like 19.
Almost as hot as Vegas.
Yeah. By that we mean stolen. Stolen.
Nevada.
Yeah.
No.
Death Valley. No. They got nothing on Death Valley. Death Valley is horrible.
All I know is I was in Vegas once in June, and I'm driving around in the car, and it's at 130 on the thermometer. That's all I know.
I will say Vegas is a big pile of suck in June. Now, it's funny too because of my group, the only 2 times we've ever been to Vegas was in June.
Yeah.
It's like, dang it, we planned wrong.
Yeah, it's a hot month. I'm sure the other ones are hot too, but I remember we were driving around the strip and it was like noon.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the cars are always off a little bit,
right.
But it said 130.
I think it was probably an internal temperature, maybe just your own hot head.
I don't know. It said 130. I was
what I'm tired of I'm real tired of right now in the summertime is everything being hot to the touch.
Yeah.
Like I can't put my arm on the windowsill of my car.
Yeah.
Because it's just hot.
You know the move I do every other day? So I have my glasses. These are my glasses I wear, but I have prescription sunglasses when I get in the car to drive around in. And I keep them in a little cubby on the dashboard. There's a little cubby deal there. And, of course, right there, sun's beating on all day. And so I just put the sunglasses there. But every time, like when I go to lunch or something, I take my glasses off and put the sunglasses on. Almost every time I burn the heck out of my bridge in my nose.
I'd imagine.
Hey, that's hot.
You gotta find a shady spot to keep them shades. My friend has one of those like you push and that drops down slowly. So she did that and it slowly revealed that she didn't have her sunglasses. That's a very slow reveal of disappointment.
That was like my water this morning.
Right?
Oh, this is a big thing in my world. I always have my big white cup jug of water that I bring with me every day. And this morning, I as I do, I filled it with ice and water and got it prepped. And then went to work. And then I got here and I was sitting here, I was putting my stuff down. I was like, hey, where's my water? I must have left it in the car. I walked down to the car.
Darn it.
Just cobwebs. I'm like, no. And so
think about it like this. You'll have a nice icy beverage waiting for you when you get home from lunch.
Well, it depends on how nice my wife is. Because I sent her a text, although I know she's staring at the back of her eyelids right now. Unless I woke her up with a text. But I just said, hey, you don't have to come down, but if you are just going to pop in for a visit today, grab that big old jug of water and bring it with you.
Appreciate you.
I like having this, but it's not, this is what I like my thing of water. I like the ice. I like the whole,
You're a size queen. I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need it big.
I like what I like when I like it.
And I understand. Hey, no judgment here, man. I like a man who likes to stay hydrated.
I'm like one of those people that, like, I don't care about most things, but there's a couple little simple things I just got to have, and if I don't, it kind of just wrecks the whole day, and this is one of them.
Phone, vape, water. I get it.
I'm a pretty meat and potatoes guy.
You know, for the first, month after I quit vaping, I always felt like I was, forgetting something.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't bring it with me. So I was like, what am I forgetting? What is wrong? Right, the thing I don't do anymore.
That's why I fear change. Every time you do change something, it messes your whole world up.
I need to get like a vape-shaped something to take with me.
Cucumber.
Something big I can fit in my fist.
Okay. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Tuesday is going amazingly well. It's going to be another
get your
hot one.
water.
That's right. Plenty of it because we got another excessive heat warning kicking in and all that. So, if one issues the same warning every day for a month straight, does the warning still carry its meaning
I would
or
think
weight?
not. It's kind of like in fire season. How every single day we have a fire weather warning. It's like, yeah, we know. We get it.
It's like they should have an announcement when they say we're not in it anymore, maybe. Maybe just keep it on and say, hey.
Out of the woods advisory.
No longer heat advisory.
You can go back outside advisory.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, go dig around the Facebooks. Greg Birch, artist, yesterday bequeathed Sean and I two amazing paintings.
Fun word.
He didn't die. He just gave them to us. That sounded like he died and left them in his will, didn't he?
We had the reading of Greg's will yesterday. He left us some really awesome artwork. No, I spent all day yesterday just bragging about it, showing people. I showed my therapist.
Check you out.
I was like, hold on, I got something to show you.
So how long of the conversation was that painting in your therapy session?
About 30 minutes in, we were talking about self-esteem issues and like how, me seeing me the way other people see me. It's like, oh, hold on. Let me show you that.
Therapist's like, how does this make you feel? Oh, no.
Please don't make me go in depth.
But it was really cool. If you get a chance, check them out. I'm not going to lie, though. The photos do not do the paintings justice.
No, they don't.
They look way better in person than those pictures.
I've never been portrayed in graphite pencil or anything other than like something that an app's filter could do.
Does a mugshot count? No, I was kidding.
Well,
I got a few
artist rendering at the courthouse. Never happened. Never got that. I would love to have. I've never even had a caricature at the beach. Like, with the
where you sit.
I've never even done that thing.
I've never done that either.
So to see me portrayed in graphite pencil or in grease pencil, I think he said he used, that's phenomenal. I mean, the likeness is so on point.
Well, I don't know. Those cartoon guys, artist guys on the boardwalk and all that do that stuff. Like, I feel like you're just asking
to be made fun of.
Well,
yeah.
Because now you get a memento that you're going to self-analyze for the rest of your life, and you're just
it's not that big.
And you're just like, I don't need that kind of mental health in my world.
Or oh yeah, that was that time I was into bottle cap collection.
Yeah, and you got to explain something.
Yeah, they always ask you, what are you into? What's your thing? And then that becomes your whole personality trait.
And you're just like, now I'm defined by the car.
Because I know what would happen to me. It would be a big head and a singlet inside of a little wrestling ring. That's
I don't even know what I'd have.
You should be at a Metallica concert.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, if I told him that. I could tell him I just like goobers. The next thing you know, I know.
You're just in the theater. Shoveling down some chocolate covered nuts.
Or maybe that's it. I just hit him with everything and just see what he does. Like the whatever they call it, the computer generated
AI.
Here, make a pizza commercial, whatever they call it.
Mid-Journey.
Just hit that guy with all that information like this and see what he paints.
What he would paint is you on a therapist couch, on like a chaise lounge, laying there explaining your story with a big head for some reason.
Either that or be getting punched by a cartoon artist on the boardwalk.
I would love to meet the guy who like trains caricature artists. Like, okay,
think there's a school for that?
First and foremost, giant head.
Yeah.
This is the focus, main point. I mean, there's got to be, because it's a very specific style that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
If you say caricature style, instantly you know what I'm talking about. But there's several artists that do that. There's tons of artists that do caricature style.
Sure.
So is that just something you pick up, or is it like a style that's trained in art school? I mean,
I imagine it's a form of because
see, these are the questions I need to ask Greg.
Well, and I'm guessing, and this is just me spitballing. I have no formal education on this. I'm just guessing that because cartoons were for many, many years a form of political. I mean, from everything. It wasn't just, and so I think because when they did certain cartoons and things like that, they do it in that caricature style. So I gotta think
that could be
it was a formal thing at one point, and
I just feel like it was like a unit in like one of the classes at art school. It's a caricature design, or like the one class where they explain why every cartoon character in history has had white gloves, which, by the way, it's to show articulation.
Very
Fun
good.
fact, yeah. It's much easier to see Bugs Bunny's hands when he's moving in white gloves than when he's not.
Yeah, even though Bugs Bunny doesn't have a hand in real life. Just saying.
Yeah. It's a paw.
They can talk, and they can go and dig tunnels to Albuquerque.
That's right.
They don't have hands. That's all real.
Weirdly, rabbits don't like carrots.
Really?
Yeah, I found that it was like a fun fact on my my random facts. Rabbits actually, in general, avoid them.
Huh.
Which I always thought was kind of funny.
Will they eat the green?
They like greens. Yeah, they prefer the
Will they
tops.
eat the leafy part of the
They like the tops.
green? All I know is I wish I had that same ability that rabbits have, that they can jump through a chain link fence like they're not even there. Like, I wish I had that ability to make my body.
I'm sorry, I just pictured a greased up Mike jumping through a chain link fence.
Well, you know how they do that, where they can contort their body so they literally fit through the little chain link fence, and they're clearly a lot larger than that link, and to me that's so impressive. So I'm like,
you have to get over full body scrapes because that hurts. That can't feel great.
Well, they are covered in fur.
They make themselves. I mean, they make themselves compact, but there's some scrapage involved.
I just wish I had that ability,
right?
Like to go through a fence like that. That'd be amazing.
I'll one up you. I wish I had the ability of an octopus.
Yeah.
Them sons of guns can get through anything.
Yeah, they can.
A little hole in the wall, they can slip right through.
I watched that octopus documentary on
My Octopus
on
Friend.
Netflix. Yeah, that one. So I learned a lot about octopuses.
They're I learned most of mine through Finding Dory.
By the way, it's an excellent documentary. Spoiler alert, sad ending.
Very sad. Super sad.
But it is
anything that starts, anything's like My Octopus Friend or Marley and Me, you know there's gonna be tears shed by the
somebody
end.
dying at the end of this.
I refuse to watch a movie with a dog. I can't do it, dude. I've been traumatized. Far From Home,
Old Yeller.
The Adventures of Yellow Dog, Old Yeller, and Homeward Bound. The Incredible Journey were the three movies I saw growing. Oh, and Milo and Otis. That was the other one. Which, by the way, I didn't find this out till I was an adult. You ever seen Milo and Otis?
No.
Oh, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. They went through like 3 of each of them in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, they kept killing off animals.
Oh,
because it's Milo. It's this little cute orange kitty and this little pug dog, and they're out in the wilderness trying to find their way back home.
Okay.
And they put them through their paces. There's like a bear attack at one point. One of them's like seen careening down a river. They really put these dogs through this dog and cat through their paces. But yeah, apparently they went through like 2 or 3 of each.
Well, I know that generally speaking, whenever there's an animal movie about animals and stuff, there are 3 or 4 of the animal.
Yeah.
That they use for different things, like Seabiscuit.
Right.
They had 17 Seabiscuits. One Seabiscuit was the running Seabiscuit. One was the standing and just posing Seabiscuit. One, you know what I mean?
And maybe I misunderstood. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But the way I read it when I read it at the time was they killed off all these. This was back before. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Milo and Otis is, I think, the large part of the reason the ASPCA is on set.
Is that the one where they had the dog drown in the pool or something?
I can't remember.
I remember years ago about some dog drowning in a pool and the lawsuits and everything. And
I'm going to have to do some research on this because I feel like I've heard that at one point, but I don't know.
I don't remember all that too. Let me give you the rundown so we can get the hour going here. We're going to replay an interview this hour. John and Crystal Noble joined us a week or 2 ago from Roswell Seed, so we're going to play that little conversation for you here in just a bit. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to chit-chat for the first part, but around 8:45 or so, we'll have the folks in the Chaves County Extension Office join us, give us an update on what's happening there.
Sorry, I know you got to get the going. This is good info.
Okay.
About 30 kittens were killed during the shooting. The most terrible thing is that most of them were killed deliberately. The famous scene where Milo, or Otis in French, the kitten falls from a high cliff, needed many kittens, one for each take.
Oh, jeez.
So that's the reason the ASPCA is on set at all movies. And you also see that
that's
no
boring.
animals were harmed in the making of this movie. Milo and Otis.
Now I'm glad I've never seen that movie. I don't want to give them money. I don't give those people money. Dang. So, Chaves County Extension Office coming in at 8:45. Man, that's a bummer. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Joanne Lopez and the folks from the Chaves County Health Council will join us, give us an update there. Before we do any of that, though, let's go ahead and take a look at your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting more heat today with a low-pressure trough over the mountains and also one to our east, downslope wind, and also a lot of warm and dry air moving in. A little gusty today, sunshine, and our afternoon high topping out at about 110. For the overnight hours, clear and mid-70s. Will stay around 110 for the high on Wednesday and sunny, about 105 and sunny Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 77 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 32%. Winds currently out of the south at 10 miles per hour. We do have an excessive heat warning for today. That kicks in at noon through 9 p.m. In case you need a reminder, it's going to be 111 today, or 110. Mine says 111. Sunny and 111. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 75 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, another sunny and hot, high of 111 once again. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 75 degrees. South winds 5 to 15. Thursday, mostly sunny. Once again, highs 105 on Thursday. Winds will be out of the east 5 to 10. Friday, mostly sunny and 102. They do say a 40% chance of showers Friday night. We'll see, but mostly cloudy and 72, and a 20% chance of rain on Saturday. Mostly sunny and 97. 20% chance of rain for Saturday night as well. Sunday, sunny and 102. So we'll see. Don't get your hopes up, but maybe we'll get a little rain on Friday. All right, it is 7:22. Let's go ahead and get you into Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. Quick break, and then our interview with John and Crystal Noble from Roswell Seed. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,439 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent Buyer attendance compared to last week, stocker KSO 2 to 4 higher, feeder cattle 3 to 5 lower, packer cows and bulls steady to 5 lower, 3 to 400 pound steers 312, 322, 3 to 400 pound heifers 267, 284, 4 to 500 pound steers 294, 312, 4 to 500 pound heifers 242, 267, 5 to 600 pound steers 251, 294, 5 to 600 pound heifers 231, 242, 6 700 pound steers 221, 251, 6 to 700 pound heifers 202, 231, 7 800 pound steers 218, 224, 7 800 pound heifers 190, 202, packer cows 105, 112, canner and cutter cows 85, 95, packer bulls 115, 129, feeder bulls 85 to 95, top half the cow calf pairs $1,450 to $2,025 per pair, top half the bred cows $1,400 to $1,825 per head. Now remember, this is the top of the market and prices range down from this according to quality, quantity, condition, and feel. We do appreciate the business. Talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Summer's coming, and you're going to want to hit the road for a little well-deserved vacation time. At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
Hi, this is Julia with Wheelchair and Walker Rentals. We are your go-to destination for all respiratory, mobility, and home health care equipment. From lift chairs to wheelchairs, oxygen, power mobility, and much more. You can even get it on rental or purchase. We work with you and your insurance to make it easy to get what you need. Delivery and setup are included. Give me a call today at 575-623-0799 and let Wheelchair and Walker Rentals improve your life today. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at 305 West McGaffey in Roswell. Wheelchair and Walker Rentals serving all of southeastern New Mexico.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning from Roswell Seed, John Noble and Crystal Noble. You may hear her most of the time running the show at the Humane Society, but today supporting her husband at Roswell Seed. Good morning. How y'all doing today?
Good morning. My handler. That's
keeping you out of trouble. That's her job.
She's trying. Not too. Although she tries to keep me out of trouble, but. To the listening world that thinks that she's such a sweet and nice person. Okay, I'll tell you right now. 15 minutes. We were in the border of California for 15 minutes on the interstate, 7 lanes of traffic. Everybody's flying, right? 15 minutes. She was trying to pull her gun out and shoot a guy on the highway because he cut us off. I'm like, are you kidding me? We just got here.
Well, the stories I hear about like L.A. traffic and stuff, she may not have been that out of place.
Well, I mean, the guy that cut us off, you could obviously tell.
Right.
I mean, his back bumper's flapping, the front bumper's like bent all around. I mean, he's clipped people before,
sure.
right?
It's like, this is something he doesn't care about.
Right. And I mean, we were like in the 3rd or 4th lane, and he came from far right all the way over and just cut literally right in front of him. I mean, I had to slam on the brakes a little bit, not bad, but enough to let him scoot in.
Yeah.
And this one, man, I mean, immediately she waves hi to him, the New Mexico way.
Yes.
And then he waved hi back. And then she double waved high, and he double waved high back, and then slapped on his brakes like a brake check. So I slowed down, and this one, man, she's like, pull up there. I'm like, you gotta stop. You really gotta stop.
Welcome to California.
Yeah, we're never gonna make it. It's like, good God, New Mexico rage. I was telling my brother that, and my brother's like, what? And I was like, yeah, she was like, you guys do that where you're from? I was like, dude, we're like the Wild Wild West compared to here, you know? Gravy. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, I've heard. What's your favorite part of your vacation? They were in California visiting family and sightseeing for vacation. A couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I mean, I always like going up to my brother's house because it's very tranquil. I mean, it's like when I was trying to explain to her about my family, it's really hard until you meet my family. I mean, my family will give you everything that they have.
Right.
Cousins were, stay the night. Here, you want breakfast.
Sure.
My brother's the same way. You go up to his house. And he has a gorgeous house, but it's taken 30 years for him to build it. My sister finally told him, "That's it. Stop."
Right.
You're done. You finish it now. Type of a deal. And it's so where my brother lives at is very, very tranquil. He doesn't have like an air conditioner because he has the ocean like 15 miles away.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah, doesn't need it.
Right.
And everything there is just, real green all the time. It's real lush. So I always like going there because it's kind of that, like I was telling her, when we get there, things are going to slow way down.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And then once she got there, realized, okay, yeah, it does slow way down.
We're just sitting on the porch because that's what we do right now.
Yeah. And it's,
watching foxes, raccoons.
Cool. See a lot of wildlife in his area.
Yeah.
And
Never
stuff.
saw the skunk, but
When you smell that one.
Yeah. He just cruised, like my brother will tell you, he's like, oh yeah, he just cruised through a little while ago. He just kind of walks through. He doesn't bother
Doing his
nobody.
rounds or whatever, yeah.
He's like you said, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Fox comes up on the porch, looks through the kitchen door like, hi.
Yeah.
This is like those videos you see on like TikTok and whatnot of like deer just coming up to people's houses and they feed them on the porch and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Ironically, when we were on our way back, we passed through a town in Arizona called Payson.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, well, that sign said watch for moose. And he goes, we're in Arizona. I was like, it said watch for moose.
Yeah, I don't think much about moose in Arizona.
And then we got up to a stop sign and he's like, hey, look, to your right. And I looked over, there's 2 huge elk laying in a grass area under trees in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Huge.
Downtown.
Wow.
Just laying there. And then
That's what they do.
Up the road, it said watch for moose again. I was like, see, told you. It said watch for moose.
Yeah, so Loaf was like, isn't that weird? And I was like, yeah, usually they're on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
So, then we got up the road and it's like watch for wild horses. And I was like, seriously?
Yeah, there's all kinds of wild stuff up there. I've been through Arizona half a dozen times. I never done that. Well, with the route that we took, we had to kind of detour. So the route that we took, you took us through gorgeous area. I mean, it's beautiful up there. You're on pine trees, huge canyons, big mountain areas.
Mountain, pine, Arizona, you think desert.
Sure.
And wide open, heat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Scorpions.
Because we stayed the night in Tempe, and the next morning was supposed to be like 1:15. I told her, I said, let's get on the road now.
Right.
Let's go. We got to go. I don't want to be stuck here at 115 degrees.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of fun. Really, really a lot of fun.
And he came back just in time for 115 degrees in Roswell.
Yeah. Luckily, we got back early enough. We got a couple of days to decompress.
You got some mild before you got hot
the whole time we were over there. We were up till like 2 to 4 in the morning. Because my cousins are family. They want to talk. Hey, what's up? Yeah, blah blah blah. Tell me everything.
Yeah, you're visiting and doing your thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Constant
Nobody
food.
sleeps in California. They say they do, but they don't.
Well, I think if you saw them in their normal grind, they sleep.
Yeah.
There was special circumstances, family in town.
Oh, yeah. No, that was like my brother was saying. He was like, God, I love it. And I was like, why? And he goes like, man, because my sister, she stayed home. My sister-in-law, I call her my sister because she's the closest thing I have to a sister.
Right.
But she stayed home and, she's cooking 3 meals a day. And he's all like, yeah, I love this.
This is like the Beaver's house, man. Yeah.
Because normally she's up really, really early. And then she goes to bed really, really late, too. That woman, she fascinates me. She goes to bed at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. She's up at like 5, 6.
Wow.
And getting everything going.
That's going to catch up with her one day.
I don't know.
One day she's going to sleep for a month.
But then she goes down to her store and, has everything, she does the full work day, type deal. Drags my brother down when a bunch of heavy stuff needs to be moved. Which he loves that. He calls that slave labor and stuff,
Well, that's part of the job when you said I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. And I was telling her, I was like, my sister's store is it's a very unique place. She has everything from like beads that you can make jewelry with, all the way up to
collectibles, gifts, and
all the way up to like hand carved desks.
Okay.
These
it's kind of a decor / craft / California collectibles type thing.
Well, it's not even California collectible because they travel all over the world. I mean,
so it's outside of California.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They go to Egypt. My brother spends a lot of time in Bali. They go to Russia sometimes.
So a little bit of Middle Eastern and Asian
all
and
kinds of stuff in there.
Art and things.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
And so when we made it to the store, she was walking around like, I want that. I want this. 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 And I'm like, yeah, okay.
There's so much room in the vehicle to get back
and
with.
that's
And we
what
have
I
to
told
sit.
her right when we left. I looked at all the stuff she was packing. I said, you're messing up.
Yeah.
She was all like, what? I was like, we don't need three suitcases. One of the suitcases has 4 wheels on it. That's how big it is. And I told her, I said, we don't need this much stuff. Well, I want to be prepared for everything. Were we prepared for everything? No, we were not.
Absolutely.
Because the travel place, they screwed up our reservation. We were supposed to stay in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Or Flagstaff, Arizona. They screwed up our reservation, so we ended up getting kind of knocked off our schedule. So we had a day to burn. And she was all like, they're going to comp us the room. Where do we want to go? And I'm like, And she was naming off all these places. And she said Monterey. And I said, Monterey is very expensive. And she was all like, they're paying for the room. I was like, all right, fine. So go to Monterey.
Right.
So we got to Monterey later that evening. It was about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And, I took her to Fisherman's Wharf. And she heard the waves crashing. She was all like, that's it. We're moving here. And I'm like, yeah, you think that. Wait till you see prices. Then we
gotta get some more income when we move in here.
And I was telling her, and so I told her, I said, they got whale watching here. And she was all like, yeah, this isn't the right time. It's got to be, this time, this time, this time. Well, I got on a website and I looked and it's like, yeah, it's blowing up right now. Everything's going on. I told her. And so I sent her the link, the website. She booked it. She was all like, all right, we're going whale watching tomorrow. And I was like, great. Did you pack anything? Yeah. She was all like, I got our coats, my light work coat.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's
and I was
cold
like,
out there.
It's going to be a little bit colder out there. Yeah. So first place we go to is Cannery Row. And that's a huge shopping area right there. And so first store, man, she goes in, she's grabbing this. I want this. I need that. We need this. We got to have that. We got to have it. And I'm like, whoa. This is one store,
right.
So we were laughing.
We're just going to look at some whales.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we were laughing because she was all like, we look like those, Roswell tourists walking around with the Roswell shirts on or the, foil hats or whatever. So there's sweatshirts on. Of course, they say Monterey across the front of them. And I was like, yeah, we look like tourists. All right. No big deal. But she got to go out and watch the whales. First time she's ever been on the ocean.
That's cool. And who knows if you ever get to do it again. So, so it's cool that you got to experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, it'll happen again.
Oh, it'll happen again.
Oh yeah,
but just in case life doesn't know what's going to happen, you got it under your belt.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on a bucket list. Yeah, bucket list.
Yeah,
we put it in the bucket.
Yeah, it was a nice time. Cool. Then we got to go see Alcatraz and
yeah, she was explaining me some of the Alcatraz stuff.
Yeah, those guys were hard. I mean, there's no air conditioning. There's no heating. Yeah. I mean, those guys were the toughest of the tough. I mean, they were the baddest of the bad, but you had to be the toughest of the tough.
And if you weren't hard, you either got hard or dead.
Dead. Yeah. I mean, and there was one part where she stepped into one of the segregation, the lockdown cells, where the bad boys go.
Sure.
And I was just sitting there. I was like, huh. Will that door close?
Can we just leave her here? That's when the fights start.
Yeah. It was all downhill from there to the dock.
Right.
So I mean, I think I could have made it pretty quick before she got out, but had to wait on the boat.
Yeah. Someday that would have haunted you.
Yeah, probably. But
I come back. Where's my wallet?
Yeah.
Didn't plan that all the way through.
Yeah. The escape from Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Once again, no one's done it. Good deal. Well, I guess we should talk about Roswell Sea a little bit. Yeah. How's what's going on? What's kind of the busy time at Roswell Sea right now?
Everything right now is just kind of at a lull. But we're getting a bunch of calls, a bunch of people coming in, watering trees. Okay. Yes, you can overwater a tree in the desert.
Okay.
So
I guess it depends on the tree too.
It does.
Because some don't need water as much, and if you overwater it, then it's doing more harm than good.
Yeah. I mean, right now, June, July, and August, we're so hot. Generally, most people, if it's got circumference tree, if it's a circumference of 20 inches or larger, it's usually already found like a water aquifer.
Okay.
But you still need to kind of boost the water on it. And it's like once every 2 weeks. And people look at me like I'm crazy when I say that, but no, seriously, once every 2 weeks. If they're a little bit smaller, maybe once a week.
Okay.
Not every day.
But a more mature tree doesn't need it.
Yeah, doesn't need it.
They've kind of got their own system
Exactly.
in place.
And I tell people, you look for the telltale signs of overwatering. The leaves on the tree will actually begin to curl, and some of them will turn. So what they're doing is they're trying to get the underside to get hot, so that disperses the water out a lot quicker.
Okay.
So, I probably took care of 4 or 5 people just last week that came in. What's wrong with my tree? What's wrong with my tree? And you're overwatering it. Well, I don't think so. Well, how often you water it? Well, I water it, every other day, about 40 minutes. It's like, the city. I know the city's sending you a birthday card at least. Hey, happy birthday! Thanks for the business.
It's the water department.
Yeah, and so that's one of the key things that's going on right now. Everybody's in fear of their trees, so they just water the dog snot out of them. You really don't need to. Like we always laugh, if you look, one of our warehouses sits right off of Walnut Avenue, and there's like 5 trees right there. Those have never been watered, and they're growing. They're in a water aquifer.
They find water.
They find water. And when you water over top of that, those roots can come up and go into water, just a little minute bit. It's not like they move 10 or 12 inches. I mean, they're very small movement. But when they're thirsty, they can drop down to that water aquifer. When you dump water over top of them, now they're engulfed in water, basically, is what happens.
Drowning, basically.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Like waterboarding them or something.
Right, yeah. So that's kind of the big thing right now. Try to kind of stay away if you can. I wouldn't fertilize right now, especially with this heat. It's not really all that well for it. Also, we have a couple of people that have been coming in. Hey, look at my lawn. I'm watering it every day, doing all this, they're doing all the right things. Why is my grass dying? And when you sit there and tell them your lawnmower blade needs to be sharpened, they sit there and they stare at you like you're just stupid. And it's true. I mean, it really is. You can kill your lawn with a dull lawnmower blade.
Because it impacts how the grass gets moisture if it's not a clean cut.
Basically, it instead of it cutting it clean, it basically just knocks the top of it off, and it bruises everything. I guess you can say it was a bruise.
Instead of cutting, it's more of a punch rip.
More or less, yeah.
It makes sense.
And, people are like, yeah, it's dying. Yeah, it's because you're beating it to death.
Sure.
Type of a deal. So that's kind of something else that, we've had to deal with.
It's no different than like when you shave. You ever shave with a dull razor versus a sharp razor and see the difference?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
It's no different with your lawnmower, too. It's just, you don't. Maybe not to change as often, but you do have to sharpen your blade. If you owned a lawnmower for 5 years and never sharpened the blade,
it's probably a good idea.
Probably do that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the razor thing. It's pretty bad when you're shaving and you can just hear it just ripping.
It's like, all right, let's pony up for the new blade.
Yeah. I only used it once. It's because you got like sequoia hairs.
Let's start another fight. Let me ask you, because you mentioned with the trees and everything, and something I've seen quite often in trees, and I'm wondering if it's an underwater issue or that's a different issue. Sometimes you see trees and then the vegetation is sticking close to the tree, where if you've got some outer branches and stuff, they are basically no vegetation on. They look like a dead tree.
Right.
But then you get closer to the trunk or lower on the tree, and there's all kinds of foliage and leaves. Is that a watering thing, or is that other issues we're looking at?
That's kind of another issue. Sometimes it could be a nutrient issue. Sometimes it's just a weather issue.
Okay.
You figure when it's 100 degrees outside and that wind kicks up to 40 miles an hour.
It's just tougher on the outer limbs of the tree.
Yeah, we call it heat skull, basically, is what it is. And so it's like standing in front of a blow dryer for 14 hours. That's how much sunlight we get in a day. Imagine holding a blow dryer real close to your face for 14 hours.
At some point, you're going to burn some stuff.
Yeah. And so generally, you'll kind of see that happen like on one side of the tree.
So odds are it probably gets more sun if you see that on that side versus the other side.
Well, we normally get winds that come from the west.
Okay.
Some winds that come from the south. Usually the southern winds or western winds are usually kind of a little hotter. Rarely do we get kind of wind from like some of the places they get wind from the east, which is really, really hot. So yeah, it could be that as well.
It's because it's from DC, all that hot air.
Yeah, that hot air. Yeah. God. And then you get like, I try to explain to people, if you don't give your trees nutrients, it's kind of like, me punching you in the arm versus somebody that weighs, 100 pounds lighter than me punching you in the arm. you're going to feel my punch a lot harder. And what happens is those leaves just smack against one another and they bruise and they kill one another. But if you give it nutrients and it's a healthy tree, those leaves can take it. They can handle that hitting.
It's
you
got
know, type
stronger
of
base, which means it won't tear or fall apart as easy.
Basically,
Makes sense. Okay.
yeah. So
okay, I was just kind of curious. I was like, maybe that's like it's preserving the water it has, so it's keeping things close to the transportation system, kind of thing. Or
generally, no. I mean, we get like, you know, people that they ask, okay, my fruit trees they're gorgeous green, they're doing all of this, blah, 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 I'm not getting any fruit, and it's like nutrient problem. And they're like, yeah, but my tree is green. It's like, yeah, nutrient problem. The fruit is the byproduct of a healthy tree. It's just kind of like us, you know. I mean, if you're healthy, you're going to do a little bit more or a lot more. If you're not healthy, you're really not. Same thing with the trees. I mean, if it doesn't have fruit coming off of it, the tree's just staying alive. The fruit is just kind of a, hey, I'm feeling good.
Life's good. Everything's healthy.
And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some scientific name for it. I don't know it because it's probably 72 letters long, and I'm not good at it.
But it needs X valuables to produce the fruit, and if it's missing one of those, it's not going to produce, or doesn't have enough of, then it's not going to produce.
It's not going to produce.
Yeah, so makes sense.
And a lot of times, it's simply a lack of iron.
Yeah, if you have globe willow, stuff of that, it's turning yellow.
So you feed a fish and liver like you would if your blood's a little low on iron.
we got worse stuff. We got what's called chelated iron. It's pure ground iron.
Okay.
And you put that around the tree. Globe willows and weeping willows, they require a lot of iron. Our ground does not. Even if you fertilize the tree, there's really not enough iron in the fertilization for those trees. The fertilizer, I should say.
So you really need to supplement.
Yeah, you need to supplement it with some straight iron. Yeah.
So good tip there if you're thinking. And again, this is that come down to Roswell, see.
Yeah.
And really, if you explain what you're looking at, even take pictures.
Oh yeah,
that's probably a great. If you're looking, like if you got a tree or grass, take pictures and bring it, and then you're trying to describe it and going back and forth. It's like, well, it's doing it. John or his staff can look and be like, yeah, that looks like it's not getting enough water, or your blade looks dull. Some of that stuff. So.
Yeah, pictures are always the best, and be careful with the pictures. Yeah. I've seen some pictures that's kind of like, wow, that's really a nice tattoo.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Filter your pictures so that you keep the private ones private.
Yeah, one of my guys the other day was all like, yeah, that's just really not what I wanted to see. This guy brought in his phone and was all like, but one of the guys was looking at it going, that's man junk. I don't want to see man junk, type of deal.
Fertilize that.
Yeah, fertilize that. There you go.
But so keep it classy. But that's a great. If you got a plant or grass or a tree it's something doesn't look right. Maybe they can tell by the color or by the way the leaves are forming or not forming. That could at least put you in the direction of what's going on, and you can try a few things. Maybe it is an iron thing, but you're thinking, okay, well, it doesn't seem to be flourishing iron. Let's move to the next thing on the checklist.
Right. It's and of course, naturally, we don't know everything. We've had a couple of weeds this year that has come in that we're just kind of like, well, that's a new one on us, type of a deal.
Well, it's probably like being a doctor, when a patient comes in and they got to, based on the clues, try to figure out the condition.
Yeah.
No different than a tree or a plant. You see a sick plant or a tree, you're like, all right, what variables are causing it to look this way? And then it could be multiple things, and that's, it's no different than treating a patient.
Right.
Sometimes the first round of treatment didn't work as advertised, so let's go a different direction.
I had one poor lady, she's like, God, you ask a lot of questions. I'm like, well, you want me to find out what the problem is, right?
Yeah.
She was just all like, okay, yeah. So and another thing, too, that we're getting a lot of right now, people coming in, grass seed. Okay, Bermuda is the only thing that's really going to grow right now.
That's that you're wasting your money.
Yeah, and, we got people, they come in, well, I want to do fescue. It's not the right, I could sell it to you, but
you're just throwing stuff on the ground that's not going to grow.
And I'll be the first one to tell you, you're throwing your money away. Yeah. Now, if you're spot patching some small areas, fine.
Sure. But if you're reseeding the yard.
If you're going over, wait till September, just hold out, wait till September. Hey, I'm married too. I know, how kind of grass thing. Because it's just that way. Mother Nature doesn't like me. Sorry,
Sure.
don't know what to tell you. You know, so
It's when it grows.
Yeah. So
because where it originally came from, this is the seasons in which it thrived and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
So Bermuda right now, that's your key stuff when you're going to go.
I'm assuming it's from the Bermuda area, hence the reason. I have no idea where Bermuda
Well,
grass comes from.
I mean, Bermuda to me, I think is just a weed because it runs, it grows, it just takes off.
I didn't know if it was a
You know?
grass that was from the Caribbean or something.
I don't know honestly where
thrived in the
Bermuda- yeah.
Caribbean. So
I don't know
have no
honestly
idea.
where Bermuda comes from.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it's just but it works well in our area. Just it doesn't grow in shade, and it's. I always laugh because you get the husband and wife and they come in and, well, we're going to plant a lawn. And I'm like, okay, and the guy's sitting there talking and I'll turn to the wife and I'm like, what do you want?
Right.
And the guy's sitting there looking at me like, I was like, look, dude, you're going to get in trouble. I'm helping you now.
Right.
Here's some pictures. What kind of grass do you like? Because, even though I'm in charge of the outside of our home,
sure.
There's major influences of like, you want to eat, fat boy?
Sure.
You're going to plant this.
What colors
type
go
of deal.
where? And
That's like, really?
And sometimes we don't care so much about the flowers not matching the.
Bermuda grass comes from Africa.
Okay. Interesting.
Australia and Europe.
All right.
So,
Where
hot
there's a lot
areas.
of sun.
Yeah, hot areas.
Why do they call it Bermuda grass? Why can't we call it African grass or Australian grass?
I don't know.
So I hear Bermuda, I'm thinking, Caribbean and Mai
They
Tais
want you
and
to feel like it's the
Caribbean.
Caribbeans.
Yeah,
You lay on the grass and just look at the dirt across the street from you.
those steel drums and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I hear all that.
I want to drink with an umbrella.
It's an umbrella. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Bermuda grass.
Oh, that could be. Oh, we don't have Bermuda grass. I was like, say, give me a drink tonight with an umbrella. I don't drink.
We have Bermuda grass in the front yard. That's what you plant.
There you go. We
Kinda.
Put an umbrella and iced tea and sit there.
Yeah. And I work at the place and I still fall victim to things because I experiment on my yard quite a bit.
Sure.
Quite.
Well, how do you learn unless you
I can't tell
break
you
a few eggs here.
I can't tell you about a product if I haven't tried it or one of the guys haven't tried
Exactly,
it.
sure.
Well, how does this work? I don't know. It's like, no, that doesn't fly.
I was like, I did it and
Yeah.
it worked great if I did this, but if you do this, it's not going to help you.
Right,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And
However, somebody has a temper, and when it doesn't work the way he thinks it should, he gets very angry.
I'd never.
I've never heard that either. That sounds foreign to me. I've
Yeah.
never seen that before.
You're just telling Porky Pies right now.
So I actually have that on video.
Oh, evidence.
Evidence?
Uh-oh. Damn
it.
See?
All right.
We throw them on the bus, they're going to hit you back.
Yeah. That was from like 15 years ago. You can't use that in court now.
Oh.
So
Trust me.
All cameras and videos from cell phones are time dated and stamped.
You want to hear my thing to this day I still get doghoused for? Did you ever watch the show Everyone Loves Raymond back in the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the episode? There was an episode where Ray taped over their wedding video with a football game.
Oh, yeah.
And he caught, it happened to me, for real. Like, I accidentally taped a Redskin game over the video that was our wedding video. and 20 years, I still, every once in a while, I get garbage over that one.
Yeah.
Not the fact that, and I did what Ray did in the thing. Would you just put the little thing so you can't record over it? That's where if you do that, it won't happen.
Yeah.
But it's still my fault. I mean, it is. I did do it, but I'm thinking if you've got a tape that important, you shouldn't put it where the other blank tapes are. That's all I'm saying.
Right. It goes in that special drawer. With
Place of
everywhere
honor
else.
in the dust rack that you bust out every 20 years.
Yeah. I don't have nothing like that, do we?
But
No, it's on Mom's cell phone.
What is?
Our wedding.
Well,
Oh, yeah, but I haven't done anything that bad. Have I?
We don't have VHSs and stuff.
No, but I mean on that lines. I haven't done anything that bad. Have I? I have not. Have I? Stop. So whatever. God.
Now's not the time to find out. Find out after you get off the radio.
We get downstairs, she's going to be a ding. Remember on this day? No.
What day did we get married?
On the daytime?
When did we get married?
Fellas, this is what squirming sounds like. Go ahead.
February 27th is when we got married.
No, that is not when we got married.
When did we get married?
February 23rd.
Oh, God. I was, 4 days off? I had the month right. Give me at least 50 points on that.
How long have you been married?
Yeah, forever.
Forever?
No, 3 years.
Okay.
Feels like forever.
Well, at least you're in the
Sundays.
ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to know the date. You're going to have to know.
I thought it was 27.
No, it's the 23rd.
Really?
Yes, it's always been 2/23. 21.
Ah, damn.
This is why you need a picture of you from the wedding day in your house with a date on it. So whenever you walk by it, you're like,
oh, we got one. It's in a tote somewhere.
Well, you need it in a place of visibility so you can reference it. And so, sure, I know, honey. Yeah. Hold on, let me go pee real quick. And then you go and you look, and it's like...
We've been in our house for a while
February
now.
23rd.
And, yes, there's not hardly anyone, because they're all in totes. We still haven't brought all of our stuff over yet.
Well,
you know, because she's all, okay, we got to have
go dig through the totes and put that picture up somewhere so you can at least keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, I thought I got it on my phone. I know I got it on my phone. I hope I do at least.
Yeah. So anytime you get around February, you're like, all right, I got an anniversary. I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah. Not a big deal.
Mine I won't say lucked out, but my wedding anniversary is August 11th. We got married exactly 1 month to the day before 9/11.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I know 8/11/2001 is the date I got married. So it was 1 month prior to 9/11 to the day.
And her birthday is one day before my oldest daughter's birthday. So that was kind of an easy one to remember.
Okay.
Because I can remember my daughter's birthday. I can't remember, I don't want to remember mine, but I can't remember birthdays. Women could do that. They remember this stuff.
I don't remember
Guys are not wired that way.
We have a cheat sheet thing on the wall with everybody's birthdays.
Yeah.
So that's my
Tell
help.
me stats from football players 40 years ago.
I'm about to say this
That's
is where we're in
different?
trouble.
No, it's not.
I kind of forgot about them.
Yeah,
but you got
Lyle
Islandzato. Yeah, but I would go to those games. Those were Raider games. That's why I'm a Raider fan.
You're going to lose this argument, trust me. As a man who's been in your seat.
Okay, tell me some recent stuff about the Cowboys.
I haven't paid attention to
Exactly.
football because I live a life.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's never going to end well for you. Trust me. I sat in that
not.
chair for many times.
It was funny because when we went back home, we went and had dinner with one of my old high school friends.
Yeah.
And of course, she's got her tattoo, and so he's a huge Niner fan, and so we go into the garage of Niners and stuff, and she's like,
Raiders flag up too.
Yeah. Oh no, Raiders. Yeah, he's right. So I told her, I said, "Here you go. This is the sanctuary." She's all like, "I can't drink in here," And so he started giving her a bad time and stuff. It's like,
I have it way worse than y'all do. My wife's a Cowboys fan. I'm a Commanders, Redskins fan. That's where I grew up.
That's the biggest rivalry.
Yeah.
I think is
Yeah. See, and so I married a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
And I'm, and so people always give us, a hard time. It's like, how did you marry a Red? Like we go on to. Like Thanksgiving's fun at our house.
Oh yeah, that's when the big. I remember that as a kid when the big game, that one big game. Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, trust me, I know that very well. That whole world.
Whoa, what was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when the Raiders played the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? Oh yeah, I was really thankful that the game was early.
I think that's not the night game.
Yeah, well, it was later. Yeah, because we got to eat dinner prior to the game.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Usually Cowboys play the 2:00 game. Usually that middle game.
Yeah, we did play the 2:50.
Yeah, usually they play that middle game on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving at 1.
Yeah, we had
Okay. So we do the same thing. We usually like noon or 1:00.
Yeah, so food was done, and then it was really cool because we were sitting together at the beginning of the game, and then by halftime she had moved over, and then by the third quarter she was somewhere else just growling at me, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, whatever,
2012 when RG3 beat the Cowboys on. It was that year that the RG3 did great that 1 year, and they played each other on Thanksgiving, and we were all at my in-laws' house, and
you were the outcast.
I was so happy and so ecstatic. Everyone's in a bad mood because the Redskins just whooped them senseless on Thanksgiving. And I was like, what an amazing game. And, of course, RG3 at the time, I was like, this guy's going to be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Little did I know. But
months later.
Yeah. but at that moment, I was at the height of Redskin fandom that I haven't been in years.
My brother and my sister-in-law are not Raiders fans. They're not Cowboys fans. But they will go with anybody who plays the Cowboys.
Sure.
Yeah.
They're like anti-Cowboys.
They just like to pick.
Yeah.
So my sister, because my sister loves me very much, she's a Jaguars fan, but she's like, all right, me and you Cowboys. So I've got my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew, and this one rooting for the Raiders. And my sister's like, it's okay. He has to go to bed sometime tonight. I'm like, And so I walk in the kitchen, grab my beer. My brother's like, will you bring me one? I'm like, no, you can come and get it yourself.
Right,
I said it a whole lot more, not nicer.
Sure.
But
so he could tell that this was about
appropriate.
This is about football.
My brother-in-law, he's sitting there, what are you going to tell everyone about this? What are you going to tell? So I was like, you just really want me out of the family, don't you? And I kept my mouth shut for the most part, I didn't rub it in or nothing. I didn't go. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, the day after when I was on my home turf and I knew where I could run to. Yeah. And I had numbers that I could call in case of emergency. Yeah. Then it was, the gloating was on, came out with the jersey, and
I mean, it was safe to come out.
It was safe for it to come,
I just saw the times. We need to wrap this up here. Is there anything we definitely want to mention before we get down?
Just watch your waterings on things.
Fair kids, rabbit feed.
Oh yeah,
yes.
With the
couple weeks away, you got Chaves County Fair here, a week or two, and Eddy County Fair is I think the same week here towards the end of July, and then of course Eastern here in a couple months. But
we do carry rabbit food, we do carry chicken feed, various kinds. So if you kind of need that, as far as like horse and cattle feed and stuff, no, we do not.
You want to go to one of your vet supply places or something,
and get that stuff. But
small animal feed and things like that, you got it right there. Roswell Seed.
Wild bird, we have a bunch of people coming in right now for the wild bird feed that we mix up. We mix it up literally right there in front of you. It's kind of like like we're not baristas or anything,
right?
But, we'll mix it up.
Make a bowl of cereal for you.
Yeah, it's ancient Chinese secret.
Calgon, take me away.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, some days you want that. Like, oh my
god. But they do have chicken feeders, chicken waterers. They do have some chicken supplies there.
Okay.
They don't have rabbit hutches. However, they do have rabbit.
So if you're like a recreational chicken owner, you've got a couple chickens for eggs or stuff, or if you're doing fair stuff,
right?
Then Roswell Seed can help you out with all that.
And honey, I don't have any honey in yet. I already had somebody come in this morning.
It's too hot. The bees are not working. When the bees cool off, they will make honey.
I had some of the honey that you gave me yesterday. I wanted a snack, so I had some chicken nuggets that were like dino nuggets that were from when the kids were supposed to be there that never got eaten. So I just threw them in the toaster oven to eat, and of course I dipped them in that honey, the mesquite honey you gave me.
Oh, that mesquite habanero or whatever it is.
Good.
Yeah,
it's good with the chicken, by the way. It was a 10 with that chicken.
So
I need to bring him some barbecue sauce now.
Yeah, let's just start something else. Cool.
Hey, okay, before we got married, when I was barbecue, he would always get food.
Oh, well, see, I'm sorry.
That's true. I'm a leach. I take all kind of food.
Hey, before we got married, I used to get food all the time too. So now I can't because you can't eat that, you can't have that, you can't do that. I'm going out my way, So, but yes, I will have honey here. I got a couple of hives that are ready. It's just getting out there to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely hot. You open up those hives and
they're angry.
Yeah, they're all females. So I mean, you got to take basic. And I don't mean that in a mean way. They really, literally, all 93% of a beehive is all females.
Okay.
So. When people are, you're just a sexist. No, I'm not a sexist. That's just nature. Sorry. Women bees work a hell of a lot harder than men bees. That's all there is to it.
But
so I will have some of that.
With it being so hot, the bees are not out flying.
Sure, they're more docile and more
hanging in,
hunkering in, kind of like you are at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Stay out of the heat.
The difference between us and them is we can go outside in the nighttime when it's cool. They can't fly in the nighttime, and they can't go pollinate in the nighttime because they cannot fly because the sun is not out.
They need that to navigate.
So bees need the sun to fly. But when it's 110, 105, they're not out flying because it's too hot.
So 6, 7 in the mornings, they're sweet time.
Yeah,
really,
more or less. Evening times, they'll come out of the hive and they'll just sit on the outside of the hive. And it's kind of a freaky thing. If you don't know what you're looking for, and you, like a lot of people will be like, oh my gosh, I went outside.
That's basically them sitting on the back porch.
They're cooling off.
Right, cool off.
With their lemonade cooling off.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Once the temperatures start cresting, under 100 degrees, hopefully they'll start being more active. But right now, it's just too hot for them.
Makes sense. Anyway, if you have any questions about anything, call Roswell Seed or come by Roswell Seed. And if you've got questions about your trees, your grass, if you want to know when it's time to plant something. But like you said, if you're trying to plant grass right now, unless it's Bermuda, it's a wasted effort.
It's a waste of time, yeah.
But
don't want you to waste your money.
Come to Roswell Seed if you have questions about that. If you're trying to plant a certain grass and you're like, I don't know when it is, talk to their folks, and anybody be happy to kind of put you on the schedule on when to do what, when, and where, and how.
How. That's the biggest thing.
Good deal.
Because we screwed it up before, so don't worry about it.
I was saying, you guys have messed up enough times, so now you got your system and you figured it out. trial and error.
Oh, yeah.
When you haven't been doing it for 100 years,
lots of trial, lots of error.
Yeah, and now,
No big deal.
now it's all flushed out and works perfectly.
Yeah.
It's a well-oiled machine.
I have many years of I just call that So like, what happened? You don't want to know. Yeah.
Learning lesson.
Yep.
Moving on.
More on these stories, townhall.com.
The government is spying on you. No surprise, I know. But did you know the banks are helping them? And did you know that withdrawing your cash from the bank can be very risky? That's right. Let Swiss America educate you about this. Banks are now required to spy on us for the government, and they report any behavior they think is suspicious. You'll be shocked when you read The Secret War on Cash from Swiss America. This new war against cash is really a war against the Constitution, against all freedom-loving Americans. You must read The Secret War on Cash. Get your free copy by calling or texting 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. This war on cash is growing daily, and it also includes all forms of digital money. So please get and read The Secret War on Cash free by calling or texting right now at 800-266-6082. That's 800-266-6082. Message and data rates may apply.
Doctors say a new experimental Alzheimer's drug may help patients.
Patients given monthly infusions of Eli Lilly and Company's DonateMab declined about 4 to 7 months more slowly than those given dummy infusions in a large study. If U.S. regulators approve, the drug would be only the second Alzheimer's treatment convincingly shown to delay the mind-robbing disease after rival Leqembi. Both drugs pose a serious safety concern, brain swelling and bleeding. Lilly's data is published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. John Scott reporting.
Australian sailor who'd been adrift at sea with his dog 3 months, rescued by a Mexican tuna boat in international waters. Authorities say Tim Shattuck was aboard his catamaran 1,200 miles from land. Company says Shattuck and his dog were in a precarious state. The crew gave them quick medical attention, food, and badly needed water. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. No injuries reported after a jet's evacuation slide fell into a neighborhood in Chicago.
An emergency evacuation slide fell from an airliner and landed in the backyard of a home near Chicago O'Hare International Airport, causing no injuries but damaging a roof, the downspout, and a window screen. The Federal Aviation Administration said a United Airlines Boeing 767 had landed safely at O'Hare Airport after arriving from Switzerland when maintenance workers realized an emergency slide was missing from the plane's side. The aircraft was carrying 155 passengers and 10 crew. United says they are trying to find out exactly how the slide ended up on the ground. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Wall Street at this hour, Dow Industrial's up 218 points. The NASDAQ is off, though, 42. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Welcome to it.
Yeah, I hope your Tuesday's going well. Come another hotter and all get out day.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting used to that by now.
It's weird to see temperatures in centigrade or Celsius over 40 degrees. Like that's whack.
Yeah.
But apparently it's over in Britain, in that area, they're experiencing highs in the 40s, which is insane.
Well, all I know about centigrade,
I've never seen a 40 in Celsius. I've only ever seen like 20 to 30. That's like all I've ever seen as far as Celsius goes.
it just went right out of my head, the name of the band. But in the 80s, there was an Australian band that had like one or two hit songs. What was the name of the band?
Is it?
The song was "The Time Has Come."
Yeah, Beds Are Burning. Doggone it. Now we're on my head too. Yeah, it's huh? I know we did. It's been a while. Midnight Oil. Thank you.
But there's
it's
a
been
line,
a while, okay?
There's a line in Midnight Oil where he says something about, and the desert lives and breathes in 45 degrees. And that was that's my centigrade.
I must
knowledge.
have missed that one. I like how Roy comes in. You guys are doing a rerun.
Just Midnight Oil. Whenever it talks in centigrade, that's the one thing I think of is that Midnight Oil song.
I was gifted a hard drive of or a jump drive of Australian songs one time. This is years and years ago, and that's when I learned that the oh my god, Air Supply, the band Air Supply is Australian, and they're huge over there.
Well, they can keep them.
They're like 6 albums. I'm like, really?
I know a guy. He was a big Air Supply fan, and we gave him copious amounts of hard time over that.
Oh, dude, I caught flack the other day because I was listening to a show and they were talking about Jason Mraz.
Yeah,
like I'm a legitimate Jason Mraz fan.
Okay,
but they were talking about just how you can't be a straight man like Jason Mraz music. It's catchy. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah, he does have catchy tunes.
What they were doing was they were saying that basically, if you look at like a metal artist, like the dudes who like sing like Godsmack or whatever, they're usually really nice guys, like really, really nice people.
Yeah, generally.
So the inverse has got to be true, right? People that sing that, like Jack Johnson, Jason Mraz, they got to be like the most vile, evil people on the planet. And so they were coming up with rumors about Jason Mraz that they had heard. Oh, I heard one time he went into an animal shelter and adopted like 16 dogs just to take them over to Michael Vick's house. So, wow. They said he'd going full Mraz.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, it's got to be true, right? If you sing happy, doopy-doop music, you got to be kind of a piece of crap behind closed doors, right?
Well, and I think, like, during COVID, wasn't he doing a lot of, like, reality TV at his farm and all that? Yeah. And so I think that, like, people that were kind of sort of knew him, kind of really knew him, and now they know him as, like, the farm-to-table guy that sings songs. You know what I mean?
Always wearing delightful hats.
Yeah. Like, he's like, is he on his farm just ranching something or farming something or digging a hole somewhere?
Just off in the distance on a porch is a rocking chair, a glass of lemonade, and a ukulele.
There you go. Now, this is me asking a genuine question.
Okay.
Because I don't know things about musical instruments. I don't know how to play them. I'm not. If one knows how to play a ukulele, does one also know how to play the guitar? Or are they two different instruments?
I think the inverse is true. I think if you know how to play guitar, you have a general idea of how to play a ukulele, but they are different instruments.
Okay.
I don't think that a uke player could play a guitar necessarily as well, but if you've been trained in guitar, you know general finger placement, tablature and stuff, and can probably play. That's just my assumption.
So would it also, because now this might be you, like if I know how to play the saxophone, does that mean I kind of know how to play the recorder? but necessarily, if you know how to play the recorder, you don't know how to play the saxophone.
Exactly. Yeah, you know how to push air in the proper way. Yeah. See, with band instruments, there's the two. There's brass and woodwind. When you're brass, you buzz to make your sound.
Right.
When you're woodwind, you have to there's a
reed that you use. Yeah.
That vibrates. So with recorder, you're still getting your general finger placement. So like a clarinet to flute would probably be a much better
comparison
recorder player. Yeah.
Okay. Because like a trumpet or or something like that, you're going into the instrument to make it achieve what it's trying to do. Or a flute or clarinet, you're just
it's just general blowing.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I got it. I was just wondering. I mean, because you always see people like this guy plays the banjo, the mandolin, and I'm like, how different are those instruments to learn to play? Like, are there strings? I mean, are the notes the same? They just sound different? Or
there's definitely a difference. And what's funny is
I see to make the note the same way.
I see a lot more people casually playing ukulele than any other instrument. Case in point, and you probably didn't see it because you're not as like dialed into the internet as most people are. There was a video that came out, I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago. Basically, there used to be this YouTuber, I can't remember her name offhand, but she goes by the name Miranda Sings.
Okay.
A lot of stuff started coming out about her grooming some of her underage fans, doing things like sending them like direct messages, and even to the point of like sending them underwear, things like that.
Jeez.
Right. So she made an apology video.
Sorry about that.
But the apology video she made included a ukulele song.
Okay.
And it wasn't really even an apology. It was more of like a, get off the gossip train, basically. And it blew up online and became like the biggest cringe moment of 2023. Everybody was talking about it. And
wow, I missed all that.
Yeah, it was rough. But I've just, Steve Martin just casually playing the ukulele. There's a guy.
He's a banjo. He's an accomplished banjo player.
Yeah, that's true. When I went to Vegas to see AJR, the guy that opened up for AJR, the artist was his name was just Boy with Uke. All one word, Boy with Uke. And it was just a dude who wore like this mask with glowing eyes playing the ukulele and kind of jam. It was some pretty cool music.
Yeah.
I was jamming out, actually.
It just makes me laugh that, like, even in music, the size thing goes. Because they all want it because it's cute little ukulele. Sure. But the stand-up bass equally gets its love because of its ginormous size. Because, I mean, no matter what, when there's a stand-up bass on stage, it kind of takes over the band. You know what I mean? Just looks and everything else.
So if you're a budding musician or a duo of musicians, here's a concept. Bass and uke.
There you go.
With the big boy and the little boy
Master the
stage.
skills at the big bass. And to be honest, I'm thinking people that are getting into music or don't know how to do music, like, have a chance at being at least sounding like you're part of the band with a stand-up bass or uke. Like, because the stand-up bass guy is just keeping a tempo beat. If you can go something like that, you can probably fake it till you make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be, a lot easier than, plus figuring out these finger placements is a lot easier than, like, tablature.
Yeah, I would imagine finger-wise, everything is just, because it's bigger, everything's a little easier to learn on. And then when you get on the uke, and I imagine if you're just trying to do simple dun 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 dun, then it's easy. But if you're trying to get like classical guitar on this thing and go, then it gets a little tricky.
Yeah, you're not going to go like full blown Mozart on the uke. Jamming out like Tom Morello. Turn it upside down. I would love to see the Tom Morello of the ukulele. That would be pretty awesome.
I want to see the slide, like electric uke.
Is that an electric ukulele?
I would like to see that. I'm sure there's out there.
There's got to be an electric uke. I'm sure it's a thing.
I've seen a guy play a guitar that was also a shotgun. Surely there's an electric ukulele.
That's right. I saw a guy playing a guitar that was a strike sign from the Writers Guild strike.
Really?
Yeah. He made a guitar out of it.
No, this one, the one I saw, the guy it was a shotgun with a guitar and everything, but it shot as a shotgun. Like, you could play the guitar and then fire off a round.
Damned.
Electric uke?
Of course, electric ukes. Yeah.
I knew there had to be.
Epiphone makes one. It actually kind of look gnarly. Like, that just looks like a little guitar.
Now I'm idly curious what electric uke sounds like.
I'm sure it just sounds like an amplified ukulele.
Yeah.
I would imagine that Boy with Uke, when I went to that concert, he had to have an electric uke. And it would have had to have. I've now said the word uke enough times that I'm cringing.
Bob Ueger's going to come in a minute. All right. We're going to chit-chat for the first part of the hour. We have the folks from the Extension office. They're going to join us here about 8:45 or so.
In that case, I need to go
to I think I'm going to go find electric uke.
There you go.
Sounds during the break here and see and we'll all listen together and see what they sound like. But
see if you can find that rendition of You Belonged With Me from The Jerk.
All right, it is 8:16. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting more heat today with a low-pressure trough over the mountains and also one to our east, downslope wind, and also a lot of warm and dry air moving in. A little gusty today, sunshine, and our afternoon high topping out at about 110. For the overnight hours, clear and mid-70s. Will stay around 110 for the high on Wednesday and sunny, about 105 and sunny Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I just scrolled down too far. Sorry about that. Currently 82 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 31%. Winds currently out of the south, 12 miles per hour. We are looking at a excessive heat warning once again for today. That's going to kick in at noon through 8 p.m. this evening, or 9 p.m. this evening. I apologize. Sunny and a high of 111 today. Winds will be out of the south, 10 to 15. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 75 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny and a high of 111 tomorrow. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 75 degrees. South winds 10 to 15. Thursday, mostly sunny, high near 105. Winds will be out of the east, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny and 102. Friday night, they're saying there's a 40% chance of rain. We'll see, but that's what they're saying. Mostly cloudy and 72 for an overnight low. 20% chance of rain on Saturday as well. Mostly sunny and 97. 20% chance of rain Saturday night with an overnight low of 72. 102 and sunny on Sunday and 105 and sunny on Monday of next week. All right, 8:18. We're going to take a commercial break here, and then on the other side, we'll be back chit-chat. Like I said, I'm going to go see if I can find that electric ukulele, see what that sounds like. We'll discover together. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When life hangs in the balance and minutes matter, trust the team that gets you there faster. TransAero Medevac. TransAero Medevac is a proud supporter of the Eddy County and Chavez County 4-H and FFA. They salute the hard work of Chavez and Eddy County's 4-H and FFA and are proud to see young people succeed. Don't miss the Eddy County Fair July 23rd through the 29th and the Chavez County Fair July 25th through the 29th. TransAero Medevac, a proud supporter of the Chavez and Eddy County 4-H and FFA programs. They really are wings for life.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com. The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get 500 megs. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speed. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true,
Have you
trusted.
lost that loving feeling for your alarm company? It turns out that long-distance relationship with them leaves you little to no customer service? In case you didn't know, Zenith Security Services is a local, family-owned company that's been right here in southeast New Mexico since 1998. Zenith Security can take over most existing alarm equipment, and if their monitoring is higher, they'll price match your existing services. So what are you waiting for? Call Zenith Security Services today at 575-626-3521.
Your destination for health is closer than you think. You don't have to drive hours for personalized care. You can get high-quality health care right here, close to home, at Artesia General Hospital. From hip, knee, and shoulder replacements to sports injuries, general surgery, pain management, and wound care, our providers will help you get back to doing the things you love right here in southeast New Mexico. Artesia General Hospital is here for you when you need us. To learn more about some of our key service lines, visit artesiageneral.com/closer.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction. Mike used bacon to get over his addiction to beef. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Was that Drew that just walked in? I believe so. So we'll talk to them in a few minutes. So I procured.
Yes.
There's a guy online that just does electric ukulele stuff. And he's the guy that kind of came up first.
Really?
And I will say this. Based on him, sounds like a blues guitar.
Really?
To me.
I'm dying to show you Boy With You because he kind of rocks.
Okay.
I mean, so go show yours and I'll show you
play
mine.
this.
Show me yours and I'll show you
I saw
mine.
Boy With You. I did not hear it. I
Right.
saw it on the list of things to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But this is this guy, and I kind of fast forwarded to the part where you hear ukulele.
Right.
So here it is. Let me turn my mic off so we can hear it without my headphones. Kind of has a blues guitar sound. Yeah. All right. So
I can get it. I mean, you know what? It hints at ukulele as at the end when you hear that kind of that twang.
Now, these ukuleles he's holding are like Les Paul ones. These are probably more expensive ukuleles than anything you own.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But that was kind of interesting, I thought. So let's hear...
This is Boy With You. I'm only going to play a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's clean. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Because he's also a
singer,
consistent pop artist. So, yeah, it's his lyrics are a bit... I'm not going to play the IDGAF song. Put it that way.
Yeah, it probably sounds like it's got...
Girl, I went into, I was sad, mad, and broken on my bed, hoping I could relive all the voices in my head. I was opening a packet of an undeveloped med when I was met with a...
Sounds like a Jason Mraz
And that's
song.
kind of what it is. He just walks around stage, he literally just strumming. And it rocks. It kind of rules. I'm not going to play
hip hop
it
sound.
might not be
Yeah,
cool,
it kind of goes. It does. Well, as you turned up, I hear the hip hop side of it. First, I'm like, it sounds like a Jason Mraz song.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's kind of cool. I didn't expect the electric ukulele to sound quite that.
It did have a bluesy sound to it, like a blues guitar almost.
Down.
Like you could make like legit blues music with a electric uke. I think.
Yeah,
I think you could.
I'd be down. Yeah. Hey, real quick, I wanted to mention something. Yesterday, and we mentioned this earlier today, we were gifted some awesome artwork.
Oh yeah, I got a note from Greg after you got a note,
Yeah.
and I was just reading it in the break there. And, very cool.
Well, he sent me this message this morning. He said, "Update. I woke up this morning. Now, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know how deep this went. His artwork is all over the place. He's world renowned.
Yeah,
apparently.
Greg's known in circles.
I didn't realize the gift that we were gifted. But here's what he says: in the Paris Fine Arts Museum.
All right. That sounds fancy.
Right? Your picture, meaning mine, the one with myself and Rhiannon, has 2,000 likes and still going. Mike's has 2,200. He says he's never gotten numbers like this. That's outstanding.
He wrote me.
That is awesome to find out.
Let me bring it up. Mine was a little different, but let's see. So he was saying, so Mike, I got your Metallica painting posted in several groups yesterday, and no numbers yesterday, but woke up this morning, and there were tagged to Metallica, Lars Ulrich, and all the artists.
Nice.
Yes. And the numbers on the painting from 4 groups is averaging like 150 per group.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's growing legs in 24 hours.
It's gonna get to Metallica, dude. That painting is gonna get to Metallica.
Well, and I've told y'all my wife's little moment in the sun with internet things when she made a sign for her classroom a couple years ago And it was basically like the rules of the class, and it's like, do not interrupt the teacher,
right?
Unless there's a fire, something, or Bon Jovi walks in the room. And so she made a cute little sign, and she took a picture and put it on her Facebook just as a funny little, hey, look what I did. And it blew up, and Bon Jovi saw it, and it got like hundreds of thousands of likes, and it literally went viral. And Kim got like at that moment, because apparently when you do something viral, people just sign up to be your friend for no reason whatsoever. And she literally got hundreds of thousands of friends requests.
Nice.
Just
people just
because
want
of
to know the person that's the thing of the moment.
Yeah. So
like I got to imagine that MF ain't real girl has to be swimming in friend requests right about now.
Well, I wonder, like, is she just hidden? Because she's not shown anywhere in the social media world, and there are a small but very, very vocal group of people that have been obsessing with that lady for the last month or however long this has been going on. Probably have been 2 weeks. It feels like a month. And and like to the point of it's creepy. But the thing that amazes is you haven't heard word one, like, oh, I'm sorry, I was drunk, or
she's
or
probably laying low to try to let it die out.
Or her family goon-handed her, and now she's in some kind of mental hospital. I don't know. But
I've said this 1,000 times that if people, when they like guffaw or stumble online, make a mistake, just shut up.
Yeah.
Go away for a little while, let it die down, and then you can go about your business.
Maybe she will. Well, that's what they do. I mean, look at Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, well,
she kind of went, and now she's starting to kind of come back and do things and show up in interviews. And
she
stuff.
did. She sort of leaned into it pretty heavily, though.
Sure.
In that she's like, well, now I know my target demo. I mean, she knows who she's going for.
Well, I kind of feel like she should have known that anyway.
It's strange because I never would have thought that would have been like, when you look at the old Roseanne show, it was very like, for lack of a better term, liberal leaning. I mean, they had gay characters, they had lesbian characters, they had all these things that you would consider not necessarily conservative leaning tendencies.
Well, to be honest, I don't think it was a conservative liberal thing. I think it's just a poor thing. They were portraying a poor family in Chicago in the 80s. And this is what they do. You know what I mean? This is the life there, and that's what it is, and that's what. And so I wouldn't even label it as conservative liberal. I'm just saying it's rich people versus poor people and how they live.
Like her tone shifted from the first iteration of the show to the second iteration of the show almost.
Well, the second iteration of the show,
also came out at a different time. In fairness,
yeah, and here's the thing: Roseanne Barr has a history of mental health problems.
Sure,
like her even during the taping of the original Roseanne and stuff. There were many close calls of people getting fired because she was chronically known for being a problem on set.
Right.
Like very argumentative, very like other cast members were kind of like.
Well, she took it upon herself that it was her show.
Well, it was.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying she used that.
Well,
like
and she did. She wrote it. She crowbarred her boyfriends into the show. She wrote it, and the comedy that comes from that show, I think, is her comedy. That was her style. That was her. That show really was a display of her. You know, the show wasn't called The Connors then; it was Roseanne, and that show was about Roseanne and the family and all that because she was the big draw, and so some of that went diva. She went diva a little bit, but some of that's mental health with the way she was brought up and. She has her own self-insecurity issues and things that kind of portrayed into the Bridezilla type mentalities and things. And so I think, and she's a comic that always skirted the edge. She always did, and it just caught her that time. Anytime you're a comic that skirts the edge, you have the risk of it blowing up in your face. It just happens more frequently now. Back then, it still happened. Just didn't happen.
People are paying a lot more attention now, or it's available in a lot more mediums.
You did a comic bit in a theater in 1987. 100 million eyeballs weren't going to see it. At most, a couple thousand were going to see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now, if you fart in an elevator anywhere, someone taped it, and then it's going to show up on the internet. You know?
Don't remind me. I still haven't lived down the elevator fart of 2017.
And so that's some of the difference there. But And that's what makes me laugh is because most of the people that scream outrage when these incidents happen, they're just waiting for their moment.
Well, it's mostly
because
just,
all these people have done that said someone similar or something just like it.
It's the mindset of, oh my gosh, look over there.
Yeah.
Tucks under rug. Yeah. It's
and
averting attention.
Although I'm not saying we're getting better, I will say I think some of that's curtailed a bit. Like some people said, all right, this is getting a bit ridiculous.
Yeah. We've reached kind of that point of overkill.
Now we're not at a point that if you just said someone said something about me in 1973, they're not ready to bring the lynch mob out yet. They're like, all right, let's figure out what's going on.
Right.
In some circles. I'm not saying that's happening everywhere. You go on Twitter and say one dumb thing.
It depends on how big you get. Like I've said out loud several times, I'm really glad I'm not famous.
Yeah.
And like then thought like, would there be anything that would be scandalous necessarily? And there's probably a couple,
well,
skeletons.
that's just it. Probably not. But they will figure out a way to make it
something. Yeah,
exactly. Because it's all about intent. You said something, and everyone that read it at the time was like, oh, it's a little joke, and no one's taking. Now they're going to read it from 20-year later lens and then be like, look at this racist, look at this sexist, look at this going to be.
I've never done blackface, but I did get a really good tan one summer, and so it's worrisome, It's worrisome.
It's just that's the world we live in now. It's like, come on, we can, it's all about intent. Were you trying to be? Or you just being, and now don't get me wrong, people do dumb jokes that go way over all the time. And, it's like this TikTok thing with like that one British kid that kind of got famous there for basically breaking into people's houses and walking around and then going into stores and just like accosting clerks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's going around like, well, I'm proving a point, and it's like, yeah, but you can't make people, there's going to be repercussions for that. And you can sit here and act like you're not doing anything wrong, but you are.
Right.
It's yes, if you're trying to point out wrongs in the world, but if you've got to do and commit a bunch of the wrongs to show it, is that really the right way to do it? I mean, this ain't like, hey, I broke into so-and-so to see if, to show them how this is a little different.
Well, it's kind of, if you remember like a decade to like 8, maybe 7 years ago, there was a real like huge trend in prank YouTubers where they would go and just commit egregious acts and then it's a prank, bro. Yeah. It's like somebody's like beaten. There was a guy named Sam Pepper who one of his stuff, the one that actually got him in trouble, he had a fake hand in a jacket, and he had his real hand under his hoodie or whatever, and he was going around and pinching girls' butts and then acting like he didn't do anything or acting like it was somebody else and like getting video of all this. And then when he finally got accosted by like boyfriends or whatever, hey, dude, it's a prank, bro. Yeah. It's like you can't use it's a prank to get out of
a pummeling.
Right. That doesn't make what you're doing okay.
Yeah.
You're still committing crimes just like saying it's a prank. It doesn't make it better.
Well, and there's a difference between a harmless prank and then accosting people and doing things like that. It's a little different than candid camera, where you know what I mean. That's a little different than just going into a total stranger and grabbing them or stealing their or breaking their phone or doing something.
And
like
that's
that.
another thing. You ever watch like JFL video, the Just for Laughs videos?
Yes.
Where it's like the compilation prank video. Those feel so cruel.
Well, and
the ones where like they have like a puddle of water.
And I think 90% of those are either French Canadian or European.
Oh yeah, because they're all like that.
Yeah,
but those poor people's phones, electronic devices that you're getting submerged without your knowledge.
Yeah,
or God forbid, you have an aversion to water, can't swim.
I think like Americans are more. We'll say what we want to say, but when it comes to actually being the Europeans are way meaner.
Dude, one of the funniest things in the world is, and I've only ever experienced it once because I saw a video.
Yeah.
There was an American comic who was doing Just for Laughs in Montreal, which is obviously in French Canada. So they get a lot of French comedians that come down. And every French comedian kills at these shows, like murders. The crowd goes nuts. And it's always the same material. It's like, it's like they add a little sound effect at the end, and that's their joke. It's like, and they do it like 13 times in a row, and everybody loses it. Meanwhile, a comic has actual observational humor, and they're bombing.
Yeah. Let's maybe try just a boom boom at the end and see what happens.
French sensibilities are very odd.
All right, it is 8:36. Drew's here. I'm not sure if it's just Drew by himself or we're going to have more. So let's do this. Let's pause for some news, weather, and your Wall Street business update, and then we'll talk with the folks from the Extension office here in just a bit. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
And now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us. Our top story today is a traffic alert for you in Artesia. A reminder that J&H Services has now begun installing a new sewer line and a new gas main line this week. So, the area around North Paris Street Avenue in Artesia will remain closed from now until late December. If you have any questions about the project, you can, of course, call 505-362-2472. The Artesia Public School Board has now formally accepted the resignation of Superintendent Thad Phipps 1 year after Phipps began working in the leadership role. Phipps had issued a public statement last week, which we reported then, expressing his deep appreciation to the community for the opportunity to work here. APS Board President Jeff Bowman said the school board is thankful for Thad's many years of service as a teacher, coach, principal, assistant superintendent, and superintendent. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting more heat today with a low-pressure trough over the mountains and also one to our east, downslope wind, and also a lot of warm and dry air moving in. A little gusty today, sunshine, and our afternoon high topping out at about 110. For the overnight hours, clear and mid-70s. Will stay around 110 for the high on Wednesday and sunny, about 105 and sunny Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Russia halted participation on Monday in the year-old UN-brokered deal that lets Ukraine export grain through the Black Sea, causing concern in poorer countries that price rises will put food out of reach. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said on Monday that the United States was making good progress in bringing inflation down, and she did not expect the U.S. economy to enter into a recession. Goldman Sachs chief economist also said the bank was cutting its probability that a U.S. recession will start in the next 12 months to 20% from an earlier 25% forecast. The U.S.-based Semiconductor Industry Association trade group on Monday called on the Biden administration to refrain from further restrictions on chip sales to China, as chief executives from the biggest U.S. semiconductor firms plan to visit Washington this week to press their views on China policy. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:39, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Extension Office for a brief bit because they're running around with their hair on fire. Just about fair season. But Tamara Schubert, Drew Garnett back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How is life at the Extension Office? I know you guys are. I know summer's a very busy time with getting with fairs, and because it's fair after fair after fair. You have your county fairs. You know, because Chavez County Fair is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Then you go to State Fair, and then Eastern New Mexico State Fair. And so it's a busy season for the 4-H'ers.
It is. They just got back from district contests. We had a group get back from nationals, and we just got back in on Friday from state competition.
Wow. Yeah. So they got time to breathe and turn around and go do the county fair.
Yes.
One quick breath, and then back to county.
Very good. But that being said, if you, I know this isn't really recruitment season for 4-H, but if you really want to learn about 4-H and see it, and I do want to remind people, I mean, yes, this is the biggest time of the year for 4-H fair season and showing of the animals, but this is not all of 4-H. This is maybe the popular part or what most people think of 4-H. Mm-hmm. But there are so many things that do not involve a cow or a pig or a chicken. That actually involve things like computers and high-tech stuff. Mm-hmm. So even if you're not into showing a cow or a pig, there are still lots of cool things for you to do in 4-H. So I do want to remind people, it is fair season, but
it is.
if you want to be
part
involved.
of that fair is our indoor exhibits, which is where all
next
those other
side,
things come
absolutely,
in.
yeah.
And so we have close to about 850 entries coming in this year. So they can always come take a look at those indoor exhibits over on Hobson Hall next week. They will be open 8 to 5, at least 8 to 5, hopefully in between there too. But when they come check out all the stock shows, they can drop in and look at all the indoor exhibits as well.
It's a nice air-conditioned building.
It is.
So it is a place to visit. That's very...
Yeah.
But I'm serious. You could spend hours just walking around and seeing the art, and you see some amazing art, or, it's everything. It's everything from food to crafts to paintings and things like that. But you start looking through it, and then you look at like a painting or something. It's like, wow, this is really amazing. And then you look, and a 10-year-old did it. And you're like,
right.
Whoa, that's no way. That's what I love about that education building. So it doesn't matter what fair you go to. It's the Chaves County Fair, the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. That building is really some of the coolest stuff in the county you're going to see in that building. And people sleep on it. So don't sleep on it. And if you need to go cool off for a minute, and that's how you stumble upon it, then so be it. Go in there and cool off, and then hang out for a little bit and see all the amazing pictures. I tell you, you're going to walk out of there going, man, I am, or maybe even be inspired, like, I'd love to do some of that, or try. If a 10-year-old can do it, maybe I can get into it a little bit, And that's the beauty of I think, the fair for me. I mean, the livestock shows are cool, and all of that's a lot of fun. And when you do the junior livestock sale at the end of each week, and they try to raise record numbers to raise money for these kids. That's all awesome and cool. But spending an hour in the education building just looking at kind of peel back a curtain, seeing what's in people's heads for a little bit is kind of cool to me. I love that. So please go in there and do that when you're sitting there going, man, it's hot. I got to cool off. Go in.
It is a good place to cool off. Go take a look around.
So those entries come in for the kids on Friday. So the building will be open starting on Monday for Hobson Hall. The horse show does kick us off this weekend, though. So if they're interested in that, it starts on Saturday.
Go stand in the back of them because you don't want them to kick off on you.
It does. So the horse show starts on Saturday at 5, and then the rest of our stock shows start on Monday.
Very good. And where can the folks get a fair book? Is it at the Eastern Fair website, or
it's actually on our county website?
Okay,
so
on the extension office website, and then get this year's fair book. So if you need to know rules, or if you're wanting to know the schedule and what shows are or what times,
yes.
Like this year, I do want to remind folks that if you have out of town friends and family, because this is one of the you don't realize we do our video during the fairs, and they're doing Chaves County Fair, Eastern New Mexico State Fair, Eddy County Fair also we're doing. So when you go on there, you'll see Eddy County Fair because it's the same week this year.
It is.
Yeah.
Which usually they usually do a week different, but this year it didn't work out that way. But anyway, tell your out-of-town friends and family if you got kids or relatives that are going to be showing animals at either fair this week. We will have live streaming video, not this week, but next week here. We will have live streaming video, but if you can be there, get out there and support the kids. But if grandma or grandpa live in Texas or in Oklahoma or something like that, and you're like, they can't come down, but they want to see their grandkids show their animals, then we'll have that there for you, and so you can go and check that out. So it'll be.
We do appreciate that.
It's we love to do it, and you don't realize how many people watch livestock shows. Like I'm not trying to brag, but our biggest viewership in all of our sports things is Artesia Bulldog football. Sorry, Goddard and Rocket. They're just rabid fans, and they literally have people all over the world. We get people in Argentina, Pengo, and these countries you never heard of that are watching Bulldog football on a Friday night because they have an Artesia connection. It's weird, but. Right behind that usually is the fair season. And it doesn't matter which fair it is. The Eddy County, Chaves County, Eastern New Mexico, does not matter. There's thousands of people that tune into a pig show, and it's amazing how we get a lot of people to do that. So, high school bulldog football and animals are the two big draws in this part of the woods around here for people watching stuff. Just throwing it out there. And I'm not making. These are the numbers we're getting. When we get like radio numbers are weird because we live in a small market and they don't. It's not like Dallas where they have Armatron and all that. We don't have that in Roswell, New Mexico. Albuquerque sort of has it. But online stuff, right to the minute who's doing it, and we literally get we'll get 4,000 or 5,000 viewers watch a Bulldog football game. We'll get 1,000 or 2,000 people watching a livestock show at a given time.
Wow.
Whereas by comparison, Goddard or Roswell High football, they may have 400, 500, 600 people watching at a time, which is still good. That's a lot of people, but it's not the numbers that the other ones do. And so I'm glad we're able to do it. I'm glad it's popular, but I do want to stress. I know it's going to be hotter than Hades out there. If you're local, go to the fair. Go support the kids in person. Cheer them on. Buy the fair food and do all the things that support the kids in the fair and everything that makes the fair happen each year. Because the fair board, they got to make money too. They got to, otherwise it costs money to maintain and operate a fairground. So when you go out there and buy food and do all the shopping and all that stuff, you're helping to contribute to the fair board and do all that stuff. So please support these kids by coming out and eating food and sitting in the shows and enjoying all the stuff and having fun. But like I said, if you got grandma in Oklahoma, tell them it's on KSVP TV. Because you have a foot in the home ec side and everything. So do you spend a lot of time judging and stuff? Is that part of your deal? Are you more facilitating to have the judges do all of it?
I usually do the facilitating.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know the kids and stuff like that. We usually bring in community judges so that they don't know the kids.
Because it's blind judging. You have the judges have no idea who made what. They just say, here's a pie, here's a cookie, here's
a quilt.
Here's a quilt. Yeah. By the way, judging food at a fair is not as awesome as you thought it would be. I've done it. And at first you're and they're like baked goods. I'm like, yeah, you mean I could eat bread and cookies and cakes and stuff all more
for 3 hours? Sure can.
Oh yeah, sounds real tough. Twist my arm. That's a workout, man. Because the problem is
you need a workout afterwards.
And the rookie mistake.
That's exactly right.
The rookie mistake is because the food's good and you start early and they're and they give you your portions. Here's a cookie. And you eat the whole dang cookie.
Yeah.
Or you eat the whole piece of cake, and you're not supposed to. Because you've got to eat about 30 more pieces of cookie or cake afterwards. and at first, it's good. And you're like, but by the time you get to plate 12, you're like, oh. And they're like, I think I'm officially diabetic now. You feel the sugar just going in. And so it is a labor of love to be a judge. But we do appreciate the folks that volunteered to do that each year. It is not as cool as it once appeared to be. All I'm saying. Well, at the end of it, you're like, I just want to die and go to bed. I just want to poop and take a nap. Is that all I want to do? She's like, he said it. I did say it. But so thank you to our judges.
Yes.
You're doing good work here. And by the way, you're probably about the time you're going to be calling for them here pretty quick. So I hope I didn't hurt you. And people saying, I heard.
I think she's already got them lined up.
Yeah, our county ones are lined up. I will be calling for Eastern here pretty quick.
Because I heard a couple people I want to be a judge. Then I heard Mike talking. I'm like, I'm out. I'm not. It is fun, actually. It is.
But there's lots of other departments that can judge.
But just saying, if you're going to judge the food, prepare yourself. It is not.
Don't eat the whole cookie.
Joey Chestnut is the hot dog eating champion for a reason. It's all fun and games, Hey, is that ever a thing going to be at the fair? A hot dog eating contest?
Dog eating contest?
That'd be something we could put in.
That'd be a fun thing to set up at some point. But I think we need a superintendent who's willing to run it and organize it.
I think he volunteered, though. That's what I heard.
That's what I
heard. Or maybe we should make it more New Mexico centric. I don't know.
Chili dogs.
Well, then you go hot, and you don't want to go hot per se. Because that's fun for a minute, but I don't want to see people just dying up on stage because of heat.
We could do a green chili eating contest. Who can eat the most green chili?
Of course, we go dairy. Nothing wrong with dairy.
No.
Go ice cream, but that
ice cream eating contest.
That's a lot of lactose intolerance that we're
and more sugar rush.
But we'll see. Someone get work on it. But
maybe cheese eating, since we got Leprino here.
Cheese would be a good one. Maybe we get cheese eating contest, or at least cheese sculptures.
Mike's full of good ideas today.
We could have a cheese bust of Abraham Lincoln or something. But Come out to Fair Week.
Yes.
Chaves County Fair, like I said, it's coming up here, and it's a fun week. I know it doesn't get the big shine that the Eastern New Mexico State Fair, because it doesn't have, all the carnivals and all the things that has, but it is a week of a lot of fun. The kids are fun to watch at the shows. The education building is amazing. The commercial, it's just really missing the rides. That's really the only difference.
It really is. It's showcasing the hard work that these kids have really put in leading up to this point.
Absolutely.
And so it's showcasing them and their efforts and their dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. So come out and, and the rule still applies. Yeah. If you eat fair food at the fairgrounds, the calories do not count. The moment you leave the fair with it, like if you take your funnel cake home with you, it's double. Yeah. But if you eat it at the fair while walking around, you don't gain any weight.
Especially in this heat that we're having right now.
There you go. In this heat, you're literally, it burns off as you'll sweat it off as soon as you put it in your mouth. Hopefully, the weather's going to be a smidge cooler for the fair. Hopefully. It doesn't, not looking good though, I ain't going to lie. But we'll see. So, you know what? Actually, we're going to get rain.
I hope so.
Fairs bring rain. I don't care what happens. At least one day during the fair, we're going to get a rain. I don't care if it's the Eastern or the Chaves, or if it's a fair, it will rain at some point during the fair. So.
I feel like it was the Dairy Heifer show last year. During
Is that when it hit last year?
I think that's when it hit last year.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
But it does happen every year. One point there's a rain thing, and don't forget, what's the junior livestock and all that? That's Friday?
It's
right?
on Friday at 7.
Friday at 7. It's an evening thing.
Friday the 28th, not this week. Next week.
Yes, so next
come
week
out
the 28th.
Yep,
You can come
enjoy
out there to this week, but not much
won't be going on.
You get a good spot for the week if you got the bid. But I would love to see everyone come out to that. It's even if you don't have a bunch of money to bid, it's fun to watch.
Come and support them.
Come support the kids.
Look, pitch in with other people if you want to just support the kids.
And that's what happens a lot.
A lot of the businesses do, and a lot of the people do, is they pitch in together. They work together as teams to help support these kids.
Because if you're not familiar, if you didn't grow up in that world, you wouldn't know. This really is the money when they auction off the animals. No matter what fair it is, they're now either A, getting seed money for next year's project.
Correct.
Depending on how old they are.
Yeah.
Or money for college.
That's
exactly
a big part of it.
And that's the big one. And so obviously, if you got your high school students, this money's going towards college. Your middle school and elementary school, they're probably saving up for their next chicken or their next sheep or whatever they're going on to next. But they're learning the way. They're learning the process. They're learning farming and ranching. It's part of the kind of the apprenticeship, so to speak, in the farming and ranching world.
Responsibility, budgeting, everything.
Yeah, they're learning all, and that's why I think the livestock shows are fun, because you really see kids that are 8, 9, 10 years old doing things that are way more mature for their age. I think.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and not just the fact that you see a kid that weighs 75 pounds soaking wet handling an 800-pound animal. That's not the only reason why it's impressive. I mean, that's impressive in and of itself, but just to see, doing ranch work, these kids working the ranch and doing, it's a little comical with some of the animals, because, animals don't always have the same intentions that the people do. And so that brings a little humor in there. But to see the kids negotiate those problems and work that stuff, to me, it's fun. It's like, and this is going to sound a little old manish, but if you don't have faith in humanity, like you kind of like you just spend all day on TikTok or on Twitter or whatever, and you just see wave after wave of people upsetting and disappointing you, go to the fair, and then you're like, okay, I'm meeting kids that are good kids that are the future, and I'm not going to lie, it'll restore a little faith in humanity when you go to the fair for a week. It just does, because you see the kids and their hard work, and you're like, all right, maybe humanity's not doomed. I know that's a little bleak, but especially if you're some older people, you get a certain mindset and things, and it's easy to get jaded because that's all you see. And I think the fair would remind some of those people that no, we got some good people doing things. We got the next generation doing their thing to get ready, and so when we're too old to do this nonsense, then they're taking over and doing it. It warms the heart a week at the fair sometimes for me. So please come be a part of it. Come see it for yourself. Come enjoy it. Support these kids as much as you can. These are going to be the kids that are going to be our mayors, city councilors, our farmers, our ranchers, our presidents of companies. They're going to be the people running Southeast New Mexico when we're too old to do it. And so let's support them and let's keep our traditions going and keeping our, that's what the fair is about.
Exactly.
And so come be a part. Come have fun. I know by you just coming out eating funnel cake or sweet corn or whatever your or cowboy fries, whatever your go-to is at the fair. Turkey leg, that's mine. Anytime you put meat on a stick, I'm in. But by you doing all that, you're really supporting the future and making that next generation of Southeast New Mexico strong. So,
yes.
I know it was a little soapboxy, but
no.
It's
We
really
appreciate
cool. Is there anything outside of the fair we want to talk about? Anything, or is there stuff about the fair we missed? We didn't get a chance to talk about?
We are doing pecan weevil trap building workshops.
All right.
And so we just had our first one yesterday.
'Tis the season to build your weevil traps?
Yes, it is. The weevils are coming out. And so our next one will be tomorrow at 5:30 in our office. So do call in and sign up. We hold spots for about 15 people. So you'll come, you'll make a trap, you'll learn how to make these traps, how easy it is, and then learn how to set them up to monitor for the weevils. And then we'll have another one on the 31st. And then hopefully next week I'll have a list of the dates for August as far as those workshops.
Okay.
As well.
What's weevil season?
So it's the end of July until the end of September.
Okay.
So that's when the adults are, this is for adult season.
Okay.
So that's when these traps are useful, is the end of July to the end of September, because that's when the weevils are emerging.
Okay.
And they're going to the trees to then lay their eggs.
So anytime outside of that window, it's kind of a waste of time.
For the traps.
Gotcha.
After the end of September, once we start getting into when the pecans are falling and dropping to the ground and you're harvesting your pecans, that's when we're looking for the immature grubs that are inside the pecans. Or you're looking for the holes that show you that the weevil tunneled out of the pecan and is now dropping.
So at that
into the
point,
soil.
you're kind of assessing how much damage or how much, do I still have weevils, and if so, how bad?
Yes, you're assessing the pecans at that point. So different points in the season, you're looking for different things.
Gotcha.
So right now is when we start looking for the adults, and then after the end of September, we're looking for the immatures.
Gotcha. Okay. And they won't be doing bad jokes on the side. That kind of immature.
No.
See a bunch of weevils doing bad stick jokes. That's immature weevil. But please be aware that this is an issue with the pecan weevils and quarantining and all that. You can't be taking pecans out of state and doing all that stuff without inspections and without, we're to my knowledge, the commercial side of the pecans have not been affected by the weevil.
According to my conversations with NMDA, currently right now, the producers do not have weevil within their orchards, but within urban backyard, individual pecan trees, that's where they've been finding the weevils. And we did find some more.
And then we want to keep it that way so they don't go there. I mean, we like for them to be going all together, but if we're going to have them, and we are, then we need to keep them into the private one or two tree, something that we can mitigate and not
manage and get rid of.
Yeah.
And there is a potential for us to get rid of the weevil here in Chavis as long as it doesn't spread to our orchards.
Gotcha.
Once it gets there, it's a lot more difficult because then they have.
We need to do our part.
Yes.
So you need to be good stewards with your trees. Have them inspected, do the proper things, and please don't be taking those pecans to other places. I know we like to gift and do all that, but if there's a possibility of weevils, then we do not want.
And if you take your pecans to somebody to get shelled, make sure they're licensed through NMDA. They have to be certified through NMDA to be able to inspect for the weevil.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And we don't have time. Dang it! Yeah. I was going to ask, but I was going to ask about the theft and stuff. Is that being curtailed and stuff? But we really don't have enough time.
Theft of pecans?
Yeah, that was like a thing. Like people go and just kind of take them off people's trees and stuff. And
well, please don't do that if you don't have permission to go take pecans.
I didn't know if that was there was a rash of it for a while. I didn't know if that settled down or what have you.
Well, I hope it has.
Me too. I guess we'll find out here when they're ready to be picked and all that. So. Good deal. If anybody has any questions about anything we talked about here, give out the website for the extension office. They want to get the fair book or any information about the fair.
They can go to the Chavis Extension website. It's just chavisextension.nmsu.edu, I believe. They can always give us a call in the office.
I don't remember all the dashes. Just Google Chavis County Extension Office, New Mexico, and it'll probably pop right.
It'll pop up.
So, on Facebook as well, too, and shoot a message there if you have any questions.
Yes.
And Drew or either one of these guys will be happy, or one of the other members. Is there any other member? I guess there's some.
We have two
clerical
wonderful admin assistants that have been fabulous in this season.
One of those or these two might help. We'll help you out. No problem. So good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Don't work too hard.
Yeah. And anybody that's called in, I am working through my notes on everybody I need to call back. There's a large stack.
Drew, we'll be getting back to you soon. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. All right, it is 9:01. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
Adjusting the true scale of COVID deaths in China.
It's impossible to say that all the excess cremations in Zhejiang were because of COVID deaths. It's also difficult to extrapolate nationwide figures from just one province that's home to only 5% of China's population. But the figures suggest that there was a massive increase in deaths in China at a time when COVID was sweeping the nation. The Chinese government has refused to say how many people have died from the disease. It's even stopped releasing cremation statistics. The Zhejiang figures were quickly taken down shortly after they were published.
And more on these stories at townhall.com.
Recent bank failures are serving as a warning about how fragile our banking system really is. As millions of Americans panic, do you know what central bank?
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Babies and toddlers against a respiratory virus that causes thousands of hospitalizations each year. The FDA approved the injection for infants and children up to 2 years old. It's made by AstraZeneca and is already approved in Canada and Europe. RSV is a cold-like nuisance for most healthy people, but it can be life-threatening for the very young and the elderly. There are no vaccines for babies yet, so AstraZeneca's shot is expected to fill a critical need. John Scott report.
The architect of Detroit's bankruptcy filing admits it was a tough process, but 10 years on now, Detroit's former emergency manager Kevin Orr maintains the restructuring of the Motor City among the most important accomplishments he's had. On July 18, 2013, Detroit filed for bankruptcy. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. A red sweater worn by Princess Diana is expected to sell for at least $50,000.
The playfully patterned wool jumper, featuring a single black sheep amid a pattern of white ones, headlines Sotheby's online fashion icon sale in September. The 19-year-old Lady Diana Spencer was photographed in the garment at a polo match in June 1981, soon after her engagement to Prince Charles. Some have speculated Diana liked the black sheep pattern because she felt like an outsider in the royal family. The sweater has an estimated price of $50,000 to $80,000. Online bidding opens on August 31 and runs through to September 14. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Actors and writers continue walking the picket lines in New York and L.A., and they reportedly are bracing for a long standoff. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope you're doing well so far. I was looking at the fair schedule. Start with the horse show on the 22nd, Saturday.
Ooh.
And the rabbit show.
Oh, you said horse. Okay, that makes much more sense.
Yes. And then Monday, the 24th, is the rabbit show at 0800.
Hop to it.
Dairy goat show at 2 p.m. And the pet show. And the dog show right after that. So they do pets and
That's
then
cool.
dogs.
Pets and then dogs? So like Stefan, my cat?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What would I enter him in?
The pet.
He's good at just like he's really good at having a wet nose at 3:30 in the morning and insisting on rubbing it all over you.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I think it means they're healthy, or that they're trying to put their scent on you, but it bugs the bejeepers out of me.
Yeah.
Every morning he'll just walk up and start necking.
I have one cat that has the ability to yell at me when the food's empty.
Oh yeah, meow, I call it.
Yeah.
It's a meow and yowl and yowl.
I have a cat that has a knack for hanging out in showers.
These are all within 2 cats. It's not like doesn't have. I got a cat for all occasions.
Yeah, they're all different cats. I got one cat that is a mouser, one that is not.
Oh really?
I don't know if how that works.
Stefan only recently became like a mouser style cat. Like before, he was just couldn't give a shoot. Now he's like chasing things.
Yeah. No.
Cats' noses are typically wet, and they may even feel cool. Yeah, it's freezing. The wetness of a cat's nose helps them pick up scents and determine where smells are coming from. So
you know what my favorite is? My favorite thing to watch is when the cats discover a new smell. You ever seen that? You ever seen when they discover a new smell?
Yeah.
They do that whole mouth open like.
Yeah.
Like I love what they do. Like I'll see them smelling something, all of a sudden they go. And I'm like,
It is a weird moment, yeah. They're like it's almost like the
mouth gets open.
Breathe it in, boys.
What is that? I like it. I don't know.
Trying to narrow that one down.
Smells like fish, but also smells like butt. I'm not sure what that is.
It's really funny to me when Stefan is dead asleep at 10:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and I'll take my finger, just like run it down his spine, and all his skin will grow. That's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah, we have a cat that you touch her, and then all of a sudden you see her back, like she gets all sensitive.
Just a couple of cat daddies talking. How you doing, Kim?
Thank you for removing my water. I was missing that.
Dude, you walked in. I saw you holding the cup, and he lit up. He went.
It's maybe because I was happy to see my wife who won the water.
Okay, Mike. Okay, I've been listening. Turn on 5. I've been listening to him all day long.
I know better than that. I know better.
He's incomplete without his H2O.
Not me, but his water. Yeah.
I'm happy to see you and the water.
No, it was the water that.
Might I say you're looking fetching today? Water. Kim also.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much ice in there, it makes the water so cold.
Ice cold.
So tasty.
You were set now.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry it took too long. I woke up late and then I
didn't expect
was
you
looking
at all.
through my text and I saw that and I was like, oh, I guess I better get ready.
Well, you don't have to go.
So when do you guys start back? Sorry, is this a sensitive
We don't
topic?
talk about school.
We don't talk about Bruno in this part. Heck no.
We don't talk about that.
I'm sorry, but is it next week? I'm asking for my kids' sake because I know that next week's the last week of July, basically.
I'm hoping I can get my keys today.
Okay.
But let me show you the calendar for this year.
Like, I wasn't sure when the start of school, if it's before or after the 7th. So let's see. Officially, the school year starts August. It starts on my birthday.
There you go.
There you go.
August 7th.
Happy birthday to you.
So every kid in the district, I expect you to remember my birthday from here on.
Well,
that's funny. That's a Tuesday, right? I believe it's because you have an in-service day, and then I believe it's a Tuesday. Because I think I've looked at my birthday.
First day
So that's your
school
birthday
is on
gift.
a Monday, the 7th.
Is it? Oh, it's a Monday. I birthday.
Monday the 7th.
well, there's your birthday gift.
Yeah, buddy.
Send the kids to school.
Day drinking. Yeah, right. I'm here.
When we start back to school, it's a full week.
Oh, really? That hadn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when, I think it was last year or the year before, you guys started on a Thursday.
Oh, it was
Which
last
felt
year
silly.
because I only went to school those 2 days, Thursday and
I remember.
Friday.
And then
I
all hell
only
broke
made
loose.
it 2 days, and that was it for me.
Wow, that's right. It's almost been
I
a
only
year.
had 2 days.
That's
so,
crazy.
Doing a full week, that first week, we don't get much into the curriculum.
Right.
And it's more setting procedures, getting the kids used to routine and how
Get to
things
know
run.
your stuff, right.
I prefer to have maybe 3 days, get them into that, and then
start
go
curriculum.
into a full curriculum, hit it hard.
But now that's gonna almost hinder you. The extra days that you're given are almost hindering you.
It makes it hard to do a full week, that first week with the little ones.
Driveway gravel. So yeah, that's rough.
Entertaining them, big time for a whole week.
My kid's going into her final year of elementary school.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Going to
she's
middle
fifth
school
grade.
next year.
Fifth grade.
And
Oh,
I'm trying to be optimistic, but at the same time, I'm also trying to tell her, Rhiannon, middle school is real. I mean, she's had it real good for her whole educational career. Being in Del Norte, being able to have Miss Robin and the second classroom, that's been a great setup. I can't guarantee we're going to have that in middle school. It's got me nerve wracked. I got 1 year to prep.
You and a lot of parents are nervous when their babies go into the jungle.
Because I remember middle school. I'm sorry to
Man,
have kids
I don't remember middle school as tough as y'all talk.
No.
now.
If you have kids that age, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, I am so sorry, but your children are terrible. Middle school age kids will find the thing you are the most sensitive about and make that the thing. It's they know how to pinpoint your biggest weakness and just drive in the screw. Not all middle school kids. In fairness, I know there are some
just your
good
kid.
But bear in mind, I was in counseling groups in the 8th grade because of how I was treated in the 6th and the 7th.
Wow.
Okay,
I don't recall it being that rough for me.
Middle school was for me.
I had one or two embarrassing incidents in school, but I brought that on myself. Like throwing up in a place where you shouldn't have thrown up.
Sure.
Things like that.
I had a bully that rode my bus, so it was real bad on the bus and then at school. And it lasted, she was just relentless for a couple months. And then finally she's all like, I'm going to beat you up at Thursday night's football game.
Wow.
I heard this from my friends. And I was in color guard, so I had my uniform.
So you had to go.
And next thing I know, her friends are circling me with her. And then I went and took the first swing, and it was on, and I was thrown down. And next thing I know,
snap! Next thing I know, we were bodies everywhere.
These two boys were pulling
everybody.
us off of each other, and everybody started high-fiving me. And my dad was working at the concession stand that night, and so he was giving me pointers. Like,
that's
like
justice.
you throw the first
there's dads for you. That's what we do.
punch.
Throw the first one and make
Next
sure
thing
it
I know,
counts.
I had a crowd following to my dad, and we went to the concession stand. You're like, you should have seen it.
Nah.
It was like Rocky versus the Russian.
First one or the second one?
My dad was just all smile.
Right?
Proud of
course.
the little girl.
How dare you fight? Good job, baby. Yeah, no, I get that.
That was the end of the bullying.
I chuckled when you said you had a bully. I didn't mean to do that, but it reminded me of the time I took care of my bully, and it actually got me kicked out of school.
Oh, no.
Well, it was 7th grade. He said something about a girl I liked at the time, and I watched a lot of pro wrestling as a kid.
Oh, boy.
I speared this kid into a bookcase. He was fine, I think, but I got booted after. I was homeschooled for the rest of the 7th grade. And I had to go with my mom to work at the nursing home like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds a little.
It got me used to waking up early. It was, it's kind of a career thing now. So,
but you got to sleep. You got like home. You didn't have to go to school. That was probably a win for you.
Well, yeah, she would work until like noon, and then I would have to go home and do schoolwork or whatever. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, still way better than going to school.
Oh yeah, I did not want to run into Evan. Yeah. That's for sure.
From your perspective, that was a win. We do have the folks from the Chaves County Health Council. They're patiently waiting in the other room to join us on the radio, so we'll do that. We'll also get you up to date with the weather, whether or not you like it. You won't.
You won't.
And then whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Speaking of that weather, let's take a gander at how hot 110 looks like today.
Your weather forecast is brought to you by Do Right Roofing. For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today. 623-2273. That's 623-2273.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We'll be getting more heat today with a low-pressure trough over the mountains and also one to our east, downslope wind, and also a lot of warm and dry air moving in. A little gusty today, sunshine, and our afternoon high topping out at about 110. For the overnight hours, clear and mid-70s. We'll stay around 110 for the high on Wednesday and sunny, about 105 and sunny Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 87 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 25%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Excessive heat warning kicks in at noon today, remaining in effect through 9 p.m. this evening. Sunny, hot 111 for our high today with south winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear tonight with an overnight low of 75 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny, 111 once again for a high with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 75 degrees, south winds 5 to 15. Thursday, sunny, 105 for a high, east winds 5 to 15. Friday, mostly sunny and 102. Saying there's a chance of rain Friday night, a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, 72. Also tacked on a 20% chance of rain for Saturday afternoon, mostly sunny and 97, so a little cooler too. 20% chance of rain Saturday night. And then Sunday, 102, sunny and hot. So we'll see. I got a few days between now and that rain thing. It may dissipate. But as of this moment, there's a chance. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's pause for a 3.5-minute commercial break. And then we'll have the folks from the Chaves County Health Council join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for the Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Pressure Services, LLC in Artesia has an immediate opening for a supervisor of operations. Candidate must have knowledge and experience in multiple oil field services. Bilingual not required, but preferred. Pressure Services also need vacuum truck operators. Positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Ed State safety facility. Equal opportunity employer. Find your path to a greater future at Eastern New Mexico University. Come experience the ENMU Advantage, which includes tuition-free higher education through the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, small class sizes, and professors who are here to help you succeed. ENMU has a free application and no application deadline, allowing you to apply up until the start of the fall semester in August. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
More than 50 million Americans live with chronic pain. If you're experiencing pain that interferes with your daily life, Artesia General Hospital can help. Dr. Casey Della Barca and our compassionate team of providers treat a variety of conditions, including arthritis, back and neck pain, migraines, neuropathy, and more. We offer advanced procedures and comprehensive therapy, and we personalize treatment plans to help you get back to living a quality life. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/pain.
You've heard of a Four Seasons room, but have you heard of a Four Seasons window? Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing and Windows. It might surprise you to learn many windows are built to handle only the cold or only the heat, but not both. In Southeast New Mexico, one or the other doesn't cut it. That's why Trustmark windows are built to handle our Four Seasons climate, the scorching summers, the bone-chilling winters, and everything in between. Special glass coating blocks extreme UV rays. A stout frame prevents warping from the extreme weather changes. And insulated glass is like putting your home in a giant styrofoam cooler in the winter and keeps cold out and warmth in. And in the summer, it keeps heat out and cool in. For our Four Seasons weather, get Four Seasons windows. Call today for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 575-755-7663 or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
I wouldn't try that if you have a spouse. Just saying. Might not end well for you, but you do you. Good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chavez County Health Council, Carrie Moore, Jennifer Smith, and Joanne Lopez back with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing today?
Excellent.
Good?
Trying to stay cold.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Trying to stay cold.
It's supposed to be 111 again today.
Don't say it.
I am curious, though. Of course, for folks that do not know, the Chavez County Health Council, one of their main staples is their information hotline. You call the 211 if you want any questions about health-related stuff in Chavez County, whether it's looking for a doctor or looking for. But I gotta imagine you're probably getting a call or two about heat and cool places to cool off, and I imagine you probably run into a few of those calls on the 211 here.
We do. We
Okay.
absolutely do.
Good deal. So where you tell them go to the pool, go to the
Actually,
pool's open now.
I've taken out a couple of cold waters to a few people on the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've gone out and say, hey, let me
Yes,
get you some water at least and get some. So please, if you are in dire emergency, call 911. That's what that's for. But if you're new to town or you need health resources, questions, whatever it is, hey, school's around the corner, my kids need shots, what do I do to all that stuff? Right. 211 is a hotline that you can call. I don't want to say 24/7 because poor Joanne does not want to answer the phone at 2 in the morning, but or whoever's on call that particular
That's just
day.
wrong. People should answer phones at 2. Some of us are up.
But if you're like, hey, I'm new and I want to know something, then here we go. So
Absolutely. And Mike, let me just say, if you can't reach 211, some carriers are not transferring the phone over. You can dial 575-910-0465.
That's the long way to get there.
211 is so much easier.
Well, it was fine when we only had to do 7 digits, but now we got to put the area code every time. It's like 3 more is just too much to ask. I'm sorry.
And if I use the landline in the kitchen, I have to dial a 1.
Right, I forgot about the 1.
Yeah, like really? We can't figure out how to call out on it.
Right, yeah. But and then you're like, but at least we're not in the days where like, oh, it's after 7, but it's now 5 cents a minute. We can now call. We can call so and so in Oregon now.
Make all our calls and texts after 7.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a different world we live in. But yeah, like you said, if the 2-on-1 does not work, and of course, don't forget the Chaves County Health Council's on social media, Facebook. You can always shoot a message there, and someone will get to you pretty quick. Usually someone's one of the admins are following and be able to answer and handle whatever questions you may have.
Yeah, we have a nifty new website too.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so you can just Google us.
Okay.
Chaves County Health
Chaves
Council.
County Health Council, and the website will come. What's the actual typings?
It's ChaveSCountyHC.org.
Okay. Not too bad.
Shortened it.
Yes, we had to shorten it because that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
There's a lot to type too.
I always love doing the Big Brothers Big Sisters website because it's all the initials for Big Brothers Big. So it's BBBSSENM.org. I only remember because in my head I'm going Big Brothers Big Sisters Southeast.
Well, we all got to do it some way.
Yeah. Well, at least you'll have 60 slashes. That's usually / this / that
underscore
hashtag.
No, we went with simplicity.
Yeah, good. Nothing wrong. But if that's still too much, Google Chaves County Health Council, Roswell, New Mexico, something along those lines, in case there's another Chaves County.
Nope, there's not.
There's not another Chaves County, United States.
We're the first ones to pop up.
Good to know. Especially with the S.
No, we're not.
Especially Chaves with the S. That's a little bit more unique. Most people spell it with the Z instead of the S. So.
Yep, we were just talking about that.
But I would imagine the big thing on y'all's radar right now is the back to school annual health fair that you guys do, and it's always right around back to school time. That's why we call it back to school. But it's way more than that. It's the community health fair. If each year you guys provide a wealth of medical and really just life. It's not all doctors, and sometimes it's lifestyle type things, but just everywhere from resources for healthcare to resources for quality of life to resources for your kids and getting their shots or getting school supplies. I mean, it's a health fair, but it's kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of stuff. I know. I think you guys are partnered with Boys and Girls Club again to do the run, and so there's a lot of fun with also getting. But if you need to get your screenings for glucose or some of this kind of stuff, you can do all that at the fair too. So so what's the dates and everything for this year's?
So it's August 5th this year. So it's 2 days before school starts.
Just about 2-3 weeks away here.
Yes, yes. We're right at the end. We're all getting ready. It's going to be August 5th from 8 to 12 at the convention center. Yeah. The run.
Same bat channel, same bat time, and all that good stuff as if you're a regular too.
Yeah. The run starts at 6:30 is when registration starts.
Okay.
They start the run at 7, and you're not going to want to miss it because it's the first bubble run.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Come goofy, come have fun. Now you can be serious if you're a serious runner. It's like, no, I'm going to try to shave a few seconds off my time.
No.
God bless you.
It's a
Most of us
run.
are going to be farting around, running around, goofing off, and having a good time. That's what.
And running through foam bogs.
But if you want to be serious and try to shave points and shave time off, then God
We'll
bless
have to run around those bogs.
Yeah. But again, this is really a fundraising event for big Boys and Girls Club here in Roswell. I had to be careful there. I start throwing out other organizations, but they're all great organizations. You pick one and help them. They're all good, but this one particularly for Boys and Girls Club here. So help out there. I do want to ask. I know, like in years past, like mammograms and things are available. Is that the case? And usually there is some signing up for that kind of stuff. You need to do that or get registered in advance for that. Is that
we
the
have
case?
the mammograms again this year.
Okay.
We also have where they're paid for if you do not have insurance.
Oh, cool.
And that's a first come, first serve, so you got to sign up
early.
So they'll be there from 8 to 12 this year. And you can find the sign up information on our Facebook page.
And ladies, forgive me for not knowing, what is the age that they tell women they need to start screening for breast cancer?
Starting at 40.
40, okay. I knew it was somewhere around there, but I don't
5 more years.
She's like, one of these years I'll have one because I'll get 40, but I'm still 21, so it's not going to happen anytime soon. They for guys, they lowered it's really for everyone, but guys worry about this one more than we don't worry about the breast exam so much, but colon, they bumped that up to 45. So, so if you've not had a colon screening and you're 45 and not 50 yet, guess what? You're due. They've upped that one. They're not doing colonoscopies at the health fair. That would be that would be different.
You can possibly run through a colon.
Maybe. Oh, they got the colon's going to be there?
Possibly.
Okay, we're working on it.
It's tentative right now.
It is a star of the show.
Yes,
and if
we always love it.
And if you're not familiar, it's a giant blow-up colon that you get to walk through and see what polyps and things look like if they were the size of your head.
Pretty big.
So if you ever want to take a stroll down the tunnel of colon instead of the tunnel of love, then it may be there for. But it is really it's a reminder to remind people to get your colon. And especially if you have the family history, do it sooner. It's because what they're looking for, that form of cancer, is one of those that's one of the slowest. So generally speaking, it's one of the easiest ones to detect. But gone untreated, one of the most deadly. One of the most, and there are two forms of colon cancer. If you all know Steve Jobs, he died of colon cancer. He had the aggressive one. There's one version that's less aggressive, and there's one that's very aggressive, and he had the very aggressive one. Either way, you got to get it. If you do get the screenings when you're at 40, 45, instead of 55, 65, if it's the aggressive one, then they can still get it. That's so it's younger is the better on that.
Oh yeah, that early detection is what saves everybody.
Yeah. So as a guy that's had a few tubes up the tailpipe a few times over the last few years.
I was wondering how you had so much knowledge of that area.
Let's just say doctors have seen a lot more of me recently than I care to show them.
Welcome to our world.
But it is necessary, and it will save your life. If God forbid, hopefully you just go there and you get the clean bill of health, and you're like, all right, where are we going to eat after this? Because I want something. I want a steak. But
Need food now.
But if not, then they can get it and treat it and all that good stuff. So, but what's the best way to get the appointments for the mammogram? Is it just to call you guys direct, or
there's
a
flyers,
link on the website?
There's flyers on our website that have the numbers and the website that you can go directly to the organization that's bringing the mammograms to Roswell, and you book directly with them. If you have insurance, they take insurance.
Perfect.
You can
just bring your card, and they'll make a copy, do what they do.
Use your insurance. If you sign up early, they'll ask for your insurance information. And if you don't have insurance, you just put no insurance, and they'll
do their paperwork and get your mammogram done.
It'll be put on our bill.
And I do know that if it's been a while, if you've had one, and technology's better. I'm not saying it's a trip to the park. No one's going, yay, mammogram, party time!
It's honestly not as bad as you think it is.
It's not as rough as some of the earlier.
It is.
No, it's not.
3D mammograms, so that's
it is much more accurate.
Yes,
that's the thing too.
yes.
And to be honest, when those 3Ds first came out, you were getting a lot of scares because it was showing so much more detail, and people are like, I don't know, we don't usually get this much detail, we need to check it out. And so there was a lot more investigative work done because they're like, this doesn't look like we know, because we're using a much better camera now.
Yes.
And so now they're a little bit like, okay, we've seen these before now, we've seen, so it's not quite as, but there was a minute there where a lot of people were like, dang, do I have breast cancer all of a sudden? Because they were seeing so many things they couldn't see before with this new 3D digital technology stuff. So please get the screenings done. It's like the colon thing. It's one of those things that's so easy to just do real quick, and the ounce of prevention there is so much worth the treatment that could follow if you don't do it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So please, have your breast squeezed for a couple minutes. Sucks and is inconvenient, but it's way better than
by a professional.
Yes. Well, you have to clarify that too. By a doctor or a medical professional.
I mean, you can squeeze by whoever you want, but
Maybe clarify medical professional. There's other professionals too. But we'll stick to that. But I do want to mention this because if you are going for something like your glucose or those kind of screenings, please know you have to fast for some of those. So if you do go to do some of those don't show up having the big old breakfast and then go in and do your glucose screening because they're not going to get a good, accurate reading on you.
Yeah,
You have
no
to
big
fast.
bowl of cereal before you come.
I think you can have a little water and things, but that's about it. They don't want you eating or drinking or doing anything. But if you got to take your meds or brush your teeth or do whatever, you drink your water to do that.
Yeah, we also have the Vitalant Blood Mobile is going to be there.
So please
doing
donate blood.
donations. So that's desperately needed. And
Are they wrapped up their Battle of the Badges, or is that still going on? I don't know off the top of my
I thought
head.
it was still going on.
I'm not sure if it is or not, but if it's still going on, then you can pick your side, whether it's law enforcement or fire. Doesn't matter. It's all going to help people, and that's what it is.
And it helps out to register.
Yeah.
Pre-register for that.
Yeah, they'll do walk-ins, but it's kind of a first come, first serve. And if they get super busy, they won't be able to do the walk-ins.
Yeah, because you do have to do a screening, especially if it's your first time, and you can get that done in advance. So that way, the day you show up, you just roll up your sleeve, and get to work on you. But if you don't do that, then especially if it's your first time donating blood, they're gonna make sure you're able to donate blood and make sure you're not. Any of the prerequisites that they can't donate blood and things like that. But once you're in the system and kind of do it regularly, it's really a quick thing. You just schedule your appointment. It's like, all right, we'll see you. Whether it's every 45 days or whatever it is, depending on how you donate blood, it depends on the times you can donate again. But it does simplify that process. And to be honest, it is the easiest thing that has the biggest impact of doing good for someone. Like at the end of the day, and I get in trouble for saying that, I know, but at the end of the day, you sit there for 30 minutes, donate some blood, you sit there and then they pump you up with tea and cookies and things afterwards because you got to replenish the blood, and then you're sitting in a beautiful, in this case will be the well air-conditioned blood mobile. Yes. But it's always nice and comfy in a chair, and it's really 30 minutes of you just chilling while someone else does the work. You just sit there, and then when you're done, you're about your day, and someone's life is being saved because of that pint of blood they just took out.
Yeah.
It's going to go on a shelf, and about a week later, that'll be in someone else's body. And especially if you're those with the O's or the ABs, those universal ones, I don't know off the top of my head which one's which way and all that, but the people that have it know it. Every 45 days, 3 months, whatever it is your regular thing, you can do so much good by just simply showing up every 3 months to let someone drain some sweet vein gravy out of you for 30 minutes,
Sweet vein gravy.
That's a new one. That is a new one.
Yeah. Sweet nectar of life. But,
I can't touch that one.
But so please consider it. If you want to give back and help out, and you're like, well, I don't want to sit on board meetings, donate blood every 3 months. That's an amazing way to help out the community. And it's really easy, and you don't have to have a meeting about it. You just go and do it. Yeah.
Ooh, they could do them during meetings.
That's not a bad idea. There you go. Of course, you got to up the food game if you're going to have a meeting and make them sit and
get you some bewitches.
Yes.
There you go. Nice bewitch sandwich might be good. I'm thinking, I know a person might be able to get some of those.
Just maybe.
By the way, what's any concoctions you've been working on in the kitchen? Like a crazy, I know you're always playing around. Is there a crazy concoction you're working on?
Food-wise, no. Drinks, I've been playing with quite a bit of stuff. Right now, the favorite seems to be the Great Gatsby.
Okay.
It's a jasmine, honey, coconut tea with cream.
You spoke a word that she likes. Coconut.
That does sound good.
It's very good. I've had it personally.
How could coconut be so good, like Mounds and all that, and coconut water be so awful?
I love coconut, and I keep trying to make things with coconut water, and I just can't do it because
awful.
it doesn't work.
It is a bad invention, coconut water. Now, coconut milk out of a coconut, delicious if you ever get to do that. But coconut water, whatever they do to that mess,
not good.
I'm thinking it's not water and it's not coconut.
Yeah, it's not the stuff that comes out of coconnuts. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, I should reel this back in. Is there some vendors, some of the things we definitely want to highlight here and mention that we want to give some love to that are participating this year?
So our presenting sponsors that we have, and most of them are on board from the very beginning. They come on super early in the planning process. We always have Eastern New Mexico Medical Center. They've been with us from the very beginning.
I would imagine it's hard to pull off a health fair without some of these entities, and Eastern's one of those. It's like it's really hard to do this without them on board.
Yeah, and this year we've got Loveless on board as presenting sponsors,
and that's even better because
so
now you got
hospitals.
the two big hospitals in town that between the two, every aspect of healthcare is covered right there between Loveless and Eastern here, in some way, shape, or form.
And of course, we always have Bewitches and Carrie's support through all of this. And this year,
some of the sandwiches you shouldn't eat all the time because your doctor,
yeah, the cholesterol might get you there.
Some of them are very healthy
but
to
they're
eat, but
super
this
yummy.
is health counsel. Those are your treat sandwiches, and you should eat those. But they're not staple sandwiches, or you're going to be diabetic.
That's not completely
They're all tasty, but in moderation. Just
I
saying.
don't do deli meats. Everything is fresh roasted.
This is true. That's
so
good
I
quality
don't do
stuff.
the processed stuff, and then I have options where we can go without the grains and the breads. So I can make things work. So yes, you can have Bewitches on a daily basis.
God was so mean when he made carbs turn into sugar. That is just the meanest thing God ever did.
I was doing keto wraps too, but nobody was wanting them.
Well, that's just it. We all just say we want keto. We really don't. We just say that to sound bougie and important. We hate it.
I haven't tried one, so I don't know.
We all want bread. But anyway.
Well, and of course we've got the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
With the run, and then we've got Western Sky Community Care this year.
Good.
On board, and they're bringing 250 backpacks and supplying water this year.
Good deal. So just a pro tip. If you're going there to get backpacks, school supplies, be there close to the beginning of the event, not the end of the event. Those are first come, first serve.
There's no guarantee that they're going to last all day.
Pass out as long as we got them, but when they're out, they're out.
Yep.
And the kids need to be there.
Yes, we have to. We have to
must have
visually see a kid. And give
I
a
understand
backpack.
you got a lot of kids sometimes, but if you got 12 kids, you better bring 12.
Bring 12 kids. Bring them all. There's stuff for everybody.
If you have a Brady Bunch, we want to see them.
We have a lot of fun door prizes for kids.
Oh, man. Sure. Good.
We got good bikes this year. We bought bikes this year from Moonrock Outfitters to get higher quality bikes.
So we're going to get some cool bikes that some kids will be lucky enough to get some of them and all that. Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and some techie stuff. Got some good stuff going on for kids and some back to school.
So even the kids are a little bit older. Like, I'm too big for my Huffy bike. I want my.
Oh no, we got some big kid bikes.
There's big bikes.
Yeah, we got all sizes.
Yeah, when they hit a certain age, you're like, I want a car.
Yeah, that's true.
I want a car too. Let me know when you find one.
We can't give away a car. Sorry about that. We're not there yet.
In the meantime, you
maybe eventually
in the future,
right?
But not yet.
Somebody got to get a job first. But and again, we thank all these sponsors because they're the ones that bring the backpacks and the school supplies. I believe that's part of the deal. It's like, hey, you come, but we also ask you donate some school supplies to help to provide for the kids here. So every booth that's out there, we thank you for doing that and doing this part of thing. And we want to make sure your business and everything gets promoted, but at the same time, we want to make sure these kids have the needs they need when day one of school starts here.
Yeah, this year we got 32 sponsors, so it's not going to be possible for me to name them all. It's way too many, but we have all of our advertising on Facebook, so all of our sponsors are shown love on Facebook.
When you see them at the health fair, give them an attaboy or something. Just come in.
Well, we couldn't do it without them. They make this possible and making it as big as it is.
This is a true community event. These are all businesses and entities that just want to showcase their business or help get patients in front of them to help them with their. I know, and especially in the healthcare world, the older you get, sometimes you're like, doctor, no, we don't go there. That I might, you know what I mean. It's just you get. So we bring it to you, and hopefully you come and you go and you get a screening or something, and you say, you know what, it's time to make a lifestyle choice here because I'm going down a wrong path. And I know And here's the other thing too. I think doctors and medicine have changed that philosophy a little bit. Like back years ago, kind of like, why are you so fat? Why are you so doing this? Why, you know what I mean? They get kind of accusatory.
Yeah.
And now it's a little bit like, okay, maybe the environment helped you along here a little bit, and that's all of our fault. And let's see what we can do to figure it. But either way, I know it's not fun to be told you got to change your life, but if you want to spend time with the grandkids, if you want to keep seeing your kids and grandkids go on and do their amazing things, if you yourself want to see the world or do your thing, can't do it, not talking to a doctor and following the health. It's I know everyone's got ideas and everybody's a doctor and we got WebMD and everyone has access to that and thinks they're
Dr. Google.
Yeah, they think they're a genius all of a sudden, and they're not.
And they are so not.
So talk to the healthcare professionals. Talk to the people that actually went to school and did this for a living and spent their life studying this stuff, and let them help you get in a better situation. That's
Yeah,
what
I
this
know
is
a
all
lot of
about.
our vendors, they're going to have doctors there. So I know for sure Eastern Medical Center, they always bring their doctors. So the doctors can actually answer questions that somebody might have and get maybe a little clarification and make somebody more comfortable going into a doctor to actually, get seen.
Exactly. The bedside manner's gotten better.
Yeah.
Or at least they're understanding,
For some doctors.
I can't
There's
speak
still
for
some of those
I
old
can't speak to the whole healthcare industry, but there is, instead of that, even like dentistry is the same. You remember when you go to now dental work, it's no big deal. I get it. You didn't go to the dentist as much as a kid. No problem. We can still, they're starting to drop the stigmas that come with some of this.
Yes.
Now, the day would be great when they decide that vision and dental is part of regular health care instead of having everything separate.
my God,
Exactly.
yes, I
Because
know.
it's full body.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Are y'all listening out there?
And
Insurance companies.
But here's the thing too, and especially with dental, they're studying that all this is related. How many heart issues? How many people had heart attacks because they did dental work? You know what I mean?
See,
that's the stuff they're learning now.
I run into that. I can't have dental work done unless I have antibiotics because I have a hole in my heart.
There you go. See,
And so it would create a problem.
all of it's connected. And if the dentist doesn't know about your heart and then starts working on your teeth, that's a bad day.
Yep.
And that's why you're right. And same with eyes. How many eye conditions are related to other full body? I mean, diabetes alone. I mean, eye care for diabetics is very important because eventually you'll go blind if you don't
take care of yourself.
Keep your numbers good and all that kind of stuff.
Insurance should cover head to toe.
Absolutely.
But who's telling you that? The eye doctor or your doctor? And that's the thing. And then the doctor says this thing, but the eye doctor's the doctor that's got to do the surgery for the. And they're like, and you're right. It feels like there's someone outside the group missing a important piece of information there, and so that's something we in the medical
That's an old school
industry.
thing that has got to change.
And same thing with mental health. We're at that point now.
Definitely.
Where cancer, Alzheimer's, we're close on a lot of these because a lot of money and a lot of research has been thrown into that. Mental health in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it's bipolar or
self-inflicted,
whatever.
Yep.
We don't know bupkis about it compared to other things. We need the Susan G. Komen.
Amen.
Mental health. We need pink ribbons and walk for hopes and all kinds of stuff for mental health. And that's what we got to do to it next.
Absolutely.
And I hope the world goes that way.
And just as a reminder, if you're out there and you're having some hard times, call 988 and talk to
That
somebody.
is mental health, and that's in any state, in any New Mexico.
Anywhere.
Each state runs their
Everywhere.
own. But it doesn't matter if you're in Texas or Maryland or California or Hawaii or here in New Mexico, that there is someone on the other end to answer that
Absolutely,
number for
and start the conversation. It's a tough conversation to have, but start the conversation. If you see somebody, your friends acting a little bit different, ask them, is there something going on, and maybe you can make a difference in their life.
And anytime you call one of those hotline numbers, you're in the driver's seat. It's what if you're just wanting to bend an ear and talk, that's exactly what they'll do. If you're ready to do something, get out of it, go to a formal treatment or whatever to take that next step, they're going to help you do that. But you're in the driver's seat. If you just want to vent for 20 minutes, that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
If you're like, I don't know what to do, what are my options? They will help you with that.
Yeah, and the nice thing is you can text also. So if you're not comfortable saying it out loud, and it's easier for you to type it up.
I know
you can-
generations, younger folks comfortable texting versus
absolutely.
talking. Where older folks like, I want to talk to a live person. You know, so it's whatever your preference is. They accommodate.
Oh, yeah. And then the veterans line, it's 988, and then you dial the number 1.
And that one you got to be a little stubborn with because veterans, you got to pull teeth to get anything out of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to lure us with a few bewitched sandwiches before you get us on your level.
Well,
now there's an idea.
It's going to be
Hey,
sandwiches.
food solves a lot of problems. I mean, we got to, but you know how many problems world solved were solved over food? A lot. Or beer. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, the Health Council has a new project that we're doing that's really exciting. It's called Together with Veterans. And
Okay.
it's a veteran suicide prevention program.
Awesome.
And so we're just starting it. So
Good.
we're bringing it here to Chavis County.
I imagine
it's a rural program.
reaching out to our VFWs, American Legions, and our veterans groups.
And any veterans listening, if you're interested, you can call 211 and we'll get you hooked up.
Yeah, if you're a veteran, there's so many resources. But you have to be the one that reaches out. So call 988, call 211, go visit a VFW American Legion post, or come to the Department of Health and talk to the veterans folks there, or call the Health Council and say, I don't trust any of these people. Who can I talk to?
Yeah.
And they'll help you with some of that.
Absolutely.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
You on the council, we have Danielle. She's over there at the Department for
Veteran Services.
Yeah, she's a good person to know if you're a veteran in
Yes,
this community.
absolutely. Very
she has
knowledgeable.
a lot of resources and links,
Yes.
and if you need VA benefit questions or links to try to navigate that nonsense, we all know that
Another
nonsense
thing we're
too.
doing for the veterans.
Again, another stupid thing.
Yeah.
Mike, another thing we're doing for the veterans is veterans ride free with the city transit.
Oh, cool.
We have sponsored for all veterans to ride free.
Well, now I got no excuse when I miss work.
Yeah, because if you call them, they'll come to your house.
I know. And I'm like, I don't want to go to
We'll
work.
pick you up now.
I'm like, my car broke down. I can't go to work today.
Call the
bus.
veterans just need to show their ID and they can ride.
Bus got me going to work now. No, but that's really cool. I'm glad that they offer that
Absolutely.
too. And veterans use this. I know you. You're very stubborn, and you're like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, you've earned it. You know, flash your ID, whatever you got to do, but utilize this stuff. Take advantage of these little gestures of thank you, and that's really what it is. It's yes, we want to take care of our veterans because we understand you did some things and you don't see life the way some other people see life and things, and we get all that. I understand, but let folks help you. It's again getting back to mental health. We still don't know a lot, but we sure know a lot more about it than we did 30 years ago. And some of the stuff Vietnam veterans go through, we're still dealing with today, and some of that stuff. So there is a mindset amongst veterans that trust no one, talk to no one. I don't need your help because, quite frankly, every time I get help, somebody screws me. You know what I mean? There is that mindset, and sometimes it takes another stubborn SOB to get in that person's face and say, dude, this is, and sometimes it's your own kind that has to kick you in the butt to do it.
And this coming month at the Chavis County Health Council meeting on the 8th of August, we have a veteran that's coming in and he's going to be talking about mental health.
Great.
Yes. So if anybody's interested in attending that, just dial.
Yeah, all are welcome to the Health Council meetings. I mean, they might recruit you for a job, but if you want to come and learn more about and be part of it, the more the merrier, because it's all, this is really, the Chavis County Health Council, it's a lot of organization and a lot of great stuff, but it's really grassroots. It's just people that, like I said, you guys, you make sandwiches all day. You know what I mean? This ain't your day jobs. This is not, you do this because...
This is Joanne's day job.
Technically, it's Joanne's day job, but
the rest of us are volunteers.
But it really is. It really is grassroots. It's people that say there's a need for this in our community. How do we address it? Here it is. And yes, organized. We got a lot of great entities, but this was all started because somebody said, "I want to make a difference in our community." It wasn't a government or some community leader that said this has to be done. I make it, bequeath it. So it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, and not everybody that's a part of the Health Council is in the medical field because the Health Council doesn't view health as just physical or mental health. It's whole health. It's, your your place in the community. It is your
Are you
spiritual health.
happy? Yeah.
Employment is a part of
everything.
it. Transportation
Yeah.
is a part of it.
They say health and happiness, but happiness is part of health. I mean, it really,
Yeah.
you say and, but it really is synonymous.
Yeah.
It's
All you have to do to be a part of the health council is care about your community and want to see it be better.
And let me ask you this. Has there ever been a time where you're unhealthy and you were happy? Like, has there been a time where you're sick with chicken pox or sick with the flu and you're like, I'm in such a good mood today. I feel amazing. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen, you know?
Well, it depends on how much drugs you're on.
Right. Now,
I mean, we can make some exceptions.
there is that rule, but if you're, yes. When I had my colonoscopy, the pain meds they put you on after that nap, I'm like, oh, man, I feel like I just slept 8 hours. This is amazing. You know?
Extra loopy, were we?
Yeah. Yeah, but generally speaking, most people are like, no, this is not what I had on plans for today, is to have the flu. So it does. So being happy and making those choices in life all lead to in mental health. It all begat something. Something's going on here to do this, and your perception of things change. And that's what happens is when, that's when you see these angry people and they're just like, what's happened is they keep seeing a pattern of things in their life, and now in their brain, this is the norm, not what normally happens, because that's all they're seeing, and they lash out. Good, bad, and different, they lash out, and that's what's going on. And then you have certain sects. One judges the action, one understands where they come from, and that's where we got to deal with it. And this is where mental health is like, okay, well, why is that happened in the first place? Is there something, is there medicine that we do to fix this? Is it lifestyle? Is it something, a surgery? Is there something actually in the brain that didn't connect to where it's supposed to, and now we got to connect it? I mean, this is where we got to learn all of that stuff. And we don't know. I mean, and I mean, they have ideas, but, till the science gets better, until the money's invested, and you've got as many scientists studying bipolar as you do studying Alzheimer's and breast cancer, it's going to be a while before we figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say Susan G. Komen and everything. I say, let's have a big rally. Let's put the whatever color banner you want to put up there, and raise the awareness and raise the money.
I tell you what, I will host one if you will be my speaking partner.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
Then
absolutely. I'd absolutely do that.
Next year we'll have one.
Absolutely. Just to destigmatize mental health, and not, because all of us have it. All of us have mental health problems at one point. I don't care if you're a human being with a brain, at some point in your life you're having a mental health problem.
Absolutely.
I don't care what the level of it is.
I'm just waiting to hear.
Does anybody have a tie-dyed banner that they use? Like, breast cancer is pink.
I don't think so.
Oh, you're saying does anybody claim to tie-dye?
Tie-dye would be great for mental health.
Not bad, because that's kind of like your head, a soup sandwich. There's about 20 things going on up there. Yeah.
Mental health is usually green.
Oh, is it?
It's a green ribbon.
See, I think green
I like
and
tie-dye.
I think we should have a meeting about that and change it.
We can just patent that.
Certainly other organizations have already claimed green. Just saying, let's go tie-dye or something. And quite frankly, I think of green, I think of Irish and drinking, and I don't know if mental health's a good thing to associate that with either. You seen us Irish people, we're crazy.
Yeah, tie-dye, your little Grateful Dead bus, yeah.
That's true. But again, don't forget, coming up here is we're just a couple weeks away, August 5th.
Yes.
Is the annual Chavez County Health Expo. It's going to be happening at the Convention and Civic Center. Gets underway early. I think, what time do you guys start running? Is that about 8 in the morning? Or
so the
run
morning? Starts at 7, but they start their registration process at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know people like,
unfortunately,
what's that
it's
time?
early in the morning, but it's August. So you want to get that run out of the way before it's
you don't want to be running that thing at noon. Yeah,
No.
you certainly. But here's the thing, folks. It's the summer. There is daylight at 6:30 in the morning.
Yes,
For folks that aren't usually up at that time, there will be daylight at 6:30 in the morning in August.
There's been several hours of daylight at 6:30.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I hate this 5 a.m. and I'm seeing daylight already. I'm like, well, this ain't right. This ain't supposed to happen. It's supposed to be dark right now.
Mike, also, we invite everybody to come by the Chavez County Health Council table in conjunction with the Together with Veterans Suicide Prevention and the 988. we will be giving out gun locks and trigger locks.
Oh, good.
Yes. So we invite people to come by if they need them and let us.
Nothing wrong with promoting safe ownership of firearms, and that's regardless of your feelings about firearms one way or another, I think we can all agree that we all need to keep them in safely stored and
we're promoting
properly.
safe storage,
Yeah.
not anything else but that.
Absolutely, that's that's a good thing. And any gun owner would tell you if you're going to be a gun owner, then there is rules and things that come with that.
Yeah.
You just can't be. It's like owning a car. You're expected to abide by and do certain things with it. Gun is very much that same thing, and even more so. So we definitely want to make sure we have people get the tools and resources to do it properly.
Yeah, might as well get a free one.
Exactly.
Yep.
Might be better than the one you got now. You never know.
We have a couple of styles. So.
Well, guns are like women have purses and handbags. Men have guns and gun accessories.
Right.
So do women.
And I know what you're. Yes, I know I'm lumping generations. I'm lumping genders here. But you want to see guys act like women? Go take them to a gun convention and watch them go over purses. Oh, this goes good with my camo. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes, I've been with my husband to a few, so I get it.
It sounds like they're in Victoria's Secret. That's all I'm saying. Very good. Well, it's time for me to get about Claim Buck about to take over. They're going to get mad at me if I don't get off the radio here. If anybody has any questions about anything we talked about here, even the weird stuff, call me on that one. But if you have any questions about the Health Expo, anything about the 988-211, questions about veteran stuff, mental health, anything we talked about, reach out to the Health Council. 211 is that phone number that you can call if you have questions about things. The Chaves County Health Council Facebook page is a great resource. Check out the new Chaves County Health Council website. You can do so by just Googling Chaves County Health Council.
Or go to ChavezCountyHC.org.
There you go. Which is not that hard to remember, actually, but you got to get it in the rotation there. So it's going to take a few sayings before it gets in there. And then, of course, come on out to the fair August 5th.
Yes,
bring the family. And if you do need if you want to get a mammogram or any of the other prerequisite screenings, don't go to the Chaves County Health Council website, pre-register, get that signed up. That way, when you come out that morning, you can just
You're good to
go
go.
do your thing.
Absolutely.
And
on our Facebook, we regularly post the information about mammograms and blood donation on how to sign up for that.
And then also, don't forget, Vitality will be there, so sign up for your blood appointments now. To that, they will do walk-ins, but it is a event that's going to be a lot of people there, so it probably be best just to get an appointment. That way you don't have to worry about trying to
We're hoping they're
cram
so
in.
busy they're not able to take.
That would be an amazing problem to have, where they have to get 2 Bloodmobiles.
Maybe they could just go all day.
That's right. We're going to need a blood, not even a mobile, like a full-on, bus, like the celebrity tour bus that pops out and shoots and it's got. That's what we need. One of those. Something more pimped out. Very good. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you here next time, and thank you guys for all that you guys do, and we'll see you here next time. See you out on the fair, out at the health fair.
You got it.
Thank you for having us.
Anytime.
Thank you.
All right, it is 10:02. There's the mongoloid fly that's been annoying me.
Oh, my goodness.
It is 10:02. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Partnered with Advantage Gold to offer you a solution. They are specialists in converting your traditional assets, like those inside an IRA or 401k, into tangible assets such as physical gold and silver. Don't allow your money to be controlled. Claim your free gold protection kit from Advantage Gold. Call 800-900-8000, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.